What's up, everybody? Welcome to a one-off live 3 o'clock kickoff watch along. I've got some free time today, which I am going to use in the form of watching football. Nothing better than that, isn't it? Right, the notification's just been sent out. I can't do my intro like I tend to do because I'd get copyright striked otherwise. So, just going to just play it from minute 1 to now with me talking and getting everything sorted. We've got 20 minutes before kickoff to get everything sorted. I'm just going to just share it around first. I say share the stream around first, and then we can get started as normal. Just making sure everything's fine. Everything's working, lights great, volume's great here. It's a good sign that everything is sorted. Okay, hello, don't know what happened there. Right, so looking like a very quiet start. It's still playing at Sellers Park, where it's 4-3 to Crystal Palace. Is it going to stay that way? West Ham might take a point at this point of time. I mean, it's 96 minutes of added time now. I don't know how much stoppage time there was in that game, but to play 96 minutes, you know, right now West Ham are running out of time, but this will be a huge win for Crystal Palace, and they will actually, I believe, match Chelsea with points now if they hold on here. So I've just shared it around Twitter. Let me just share around the Discord, and there we go. I think we're just slowly but surely starting to pop off in a good way. Vinny, welcome. Vijay, welcome. He's out on afternoon Gatsby and myself. Gatsby is here as well, actually. He is right in the corner. So we could maybe see him make an appearance. I can't spell apparently. I'm just sending it all out. And then I'll be ready. Right, I'm not expecting it to be a very busy stream today. I think a lot of the people are going to be watching the football. But to be fair, there's not many people streaming the 3 o'clocks. So I'll take this opportunity to be your commentator for today, talking through the implications for today. So we could see a lot of movement take place today within all of the EFL. So, EFL. Wigan could go down today if they don't win against Reading. It's a must win. We already lost Blackpool yesterday. The reason why Blackpool are down is because Reading and Huddersfield actually play against each other in the final game week of the season. Meaning whatever result happens in that game, now that Blackpool have lost that game yesterday against Millwall, Blackpool can't catch up with either one of them. So Blackpool are officially down and out. And the maximum points they can end at the end of the season now is 44 points, and they'll have to try and beat Norwich in the final day of the season to try and get that. It looks like they may stay on 41. Wigan can really give themselves a fighting chance if they pick up 3 points today against Reading. It means that both Reading and Wigan will be on 43 points. Then the both of them will be hoping that Huddersfield do not pick up anything against Cardiff, and they'll be hoping that Rotherham lose to Middlesbrough. And if that happens, if Wigan win, if Wigan win that game and Rotherham pick up a draw against Middlesbrough, then Rotherham are then safe. These are so many implications that can happen going into this game week following this one game there. Lequan, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I've not seen you for a long time, man. So yeah, Wigan could go down today for League One, which is what I'm really excited about today. Plymouth could go up if they simply do not lose today. It's as simple, as straightforward as that. Ipswich can go up if they can better Sheffield Wednesday's result today. That is what's happening here. Sheffield Wednesday have to win their game today against Shrewsbury, I think they're playing. So if Sheffield Wednesday don't win, then both Plymouth and Ipswich go up no matter what happens today. Plymouth got Burton today in their final home game of the season, and Ipswich have got Exeter in their final home game of the season today. So we could see two teams from League One go back up to the Championship. For relegation in League One, we could see Accrington go down if they lose and Oxford and MK Dons win, and same with Morecambe. Both Morecambe and Accrington, could all go down today if Oxford and MK Dons win their games. Oxford, I think, have Forest Green today, but I believe MK Dons have Barnsley, so that's not a straightforward game for MK Dons there, especially. Morecambe and Accrington will be looking at that, thinking, right, can I get something here and maybe close the gap to MK Dons there? I think Oxford are okay for the fact that they won so emphatically in midweek against Cheltenham. I think Oxford have now hit their form back at the right time. So that is the implications of League One. We can see 2 relegated and 2 promoted today. So that's going to be where most of the action is going to be taking place today. For League 2, we could see 2 promotions today. We could see Northampton go up. They only need to win their game. And it actually doesn't matter if anything else happens. A win against Bradford today will send Northampton back up to League 1. Stevenage can go up if they win their game, I think, and then Stockport and Carlisle don't win. I think that's the implication for Stevenage, but I'll need to double check on that. And then one relatively straightforward scenario for Hartlepool. If they lose today, no matter what happens, they'll go down. They'll also get relegated if Crawley even pick up a point. So it's looking very, very dangerous for Hartlepool for League 2 today. Vijay, welcome. I think I already said welcome to Vijay. Tom, welcome to the stream. Wigan and Blackpool have been top sides recently. Blackpool have turned it on a little bit, but defensively have looked quite shambolic, unfortunately, and it's what cost them, unfortunately, in that. I'll throw the National League in there as well. So what we could see is the battle for third place between Chesterfield and Woking. So Chesterfield have got bottom of the league Maidstone to play, and Woking have got Solihull Moors. Woking had a really glorious opportunity to steal third place from Chesterfield when they had a game in hand. They were up against Halifax, and Halifax beat them quite heavily as well. So a real body blow for Woking's chances to finish third, which will mean that they play a National League semi-final rather than having to play a quarter-final and a semi-final and then a final if they wanted to try and get promoted from the National League. For the relegation picture of the National League, Torquay United could get relegated today, which is very upsetting for Torquay, knowing how close they were a couple of seasons ago. They're only 3 points behind Maidenhead and York. They'll be the 2 teams that Torquay will be watching over, but Torquay have got already promoted Wrexham to play. But if Wrexham down tools, Torquay could see an opportunity. York also play Notts County. It is Maidenhead that probably has the better game out of all of them there, as Maidenhead play against Gateshead, where Gateshead have not been as strong as their form after they won those 6 games in a row. So advantage Maidenhead on paper. York and Torquay looks to be a toss-up between them to see if either one of them is going to go down and take that last relegation place from the National League. So Maidstone, Scunthorpe and Yeovil have already taken those 3 places. Who's going to take the 4th one? We'll find out at 5:30 today. And I'm going to throw Chelmsford just to talk about them very, very briefly. In fact, I'll actually show capture just so you can see what we've got today. So, Chelmsford, as you can see, are currently 4th place in the table. They are joint on points with Oxford City, but the big disadvantage is goal difference. So, I'm just doing the quick maths right now. Oxford have 9 as an advantage for goal difference. So, even if we match our results today, Chelmsford cannot overtake Oxford. Chelmsford need to better Oxford's result. Is that someone knocking on my door? Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Just context, I'm home alone today, so I've had to check, but turns out it was no one. I don't think I was trolled, but something else was being knocking, so I thought it was the door. Apologies about that. So, let me just get my bearings and just get my breath back and see what we've got. So, as I was saying with Chelmsford, they're playing at home at Melbourne Stadium today against Taunton. Taunton are 15th in the table, so mid-table team, Taunton. Oxford City are away to Bath. So Chelmsford have a home game, Oxford City have an away game. Bath, also mid-table, slightly higher up actually, in 12th place and have won 2 out of their last 3. So if Chelmsford can beat Oxford's result, or better their result, Chelmsford take 3rd, and it means that they don't have to play a playoff quarter final. It's already amazing to see them confirm their place in the playoffs this year, but this could be a real good icing on the cake moment for Chelmsford, because it's not often we finish in the top 3 whatsoever. So it would be very, very refreshing for me to see that. Let's catch up on comments. Wigan will lose to Reading and go down, says Tom. It's a decent shout because Reading's home form has been really good. 78% of their points Reading have been at home. Don't I have an Ipswich season ticket? Not a season ticket. I've just been getting the odd ticket here and there. And there's no chance of me going to Exeter today. Well, for one, I'm categorically banned from my office to go because I'm an ultimate jinx power. And they were sold out. I think they were even sold out before Ipswich played Barnsley. So they've been very difficult to get tickets, especially recently. People still moping about losing Pedro. What a bargain buy for Brighton indeed. Solihull Moors are in the same direction as Torquay. They lose playoff final, then get mid-table, and then get relegated next season. After that, next season will be a long one for us. I think just investments needed. Solihull's definitely got something there. Just if you invest, then they will get something out of it. Fylde can get promoted to the National League today, says Tom. Yes, from National League North, that's right. So Ipswich in that league, when I was just showing Chelmsford, they got the job done like ages ago. They've already been promoted back up to the National League. Fylde can join them if they get a good result today. So a lot could happen today. This is why I've decided to do a watch-along, because there's so many things that can happen. Bowler not in League One next season. Yeah, I don't think Josh Bowler will stay at Blackpool going into League One. I do fear for Blackpool. I think there'll be quite a few players leaving, to be honest. It could be a clear-up. I could see Ipswich, potentially targeting those players if Ipswich do go up. Someone like an Ian Pervader, Josh Bowler. I'm sure there's plenty of others that I'm thinking off the top of my head. Charlie Patino, I actually wouldn't mind. I know Charlie Patino, I feel like was a little bit hyped up a little bit, and obviously just hasn't really been the level I think most people expected him, but he's a young lad, and I do think he has got a lot of promise there, and I do believe in investing someone that's got a really good technical ability. Right, so full time, by the way, in the early Premier League game, which I'll briefly talk about. So it's Mark McAdam watching Plymouth and Burton. So, Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 3. As you can see, Palace have now overtaken Chelsea with that win. 40 points now. And Palace are definitely safe, in my opinion, now. Chelsea down to 12th on 39 points. Wolves could overtake them today. Oh, okay, so it's Lindsay Hooper's watching Shrewsbury and Sheffield Wednesday. I haven't seen who's watching the Ipswich game. So, yeah, look at this result here. 4-3, 7-goal thriller, especially in the opening Premier League game. We don't really see that all that often, so I'm definitely going to try and talk about it if it will allow me to see the stats. It's Bianca Westwood, and actually, the Ipswich fans like it when Bianca Westwood go into the stadium. So yeah, Ipswich Exeter could see Ipswich back to the Championship after 5 seasons of being in League One. There we go, we can finally see it. So, a bit of back and forth this game. Goals came in with Thomas Soucek getting the lead, but Jordan Ayew, Wilfried Zaha and Jeffrey Schlupp commanding Palace to a 3-1 lead. Antonio scored a goal just before half-time to make it 3-2 to make it interesting. The penalty decision for Crystal Palace managed to get them an extra advantage for 4-2. Aguerd managed to get a consolation back within 6 or 7 minutes later, making things very interesting. But Palace do hold on indeed to win 4-3. Palace safe, West Ham definitely not yet. 16 shots to 8, 6 shots on target to 4. It actually has been a really, really good pumped up game. I actually think there was a lot of chances there. Very open. You know, we've already seen 3-2 for Millwall against Blackpool. Palace beating West Ham by 4-3. Are we getting to that desperate stage of the season now where we're seeing a lot of teams sacrificing their defensive solidity by trying to go forward and get some goals? If that's what we're going to see, we may have to adjust our predictions just that ever so slightly. So we're now back here to the Championship. To remind you, Wigan can go down today. Reading will still be safe at the moment, although they'll have to be looking at to see what Rotherham and Huddersfield do to see if they could get relegated this weekend. And teams, Bristol City and Burnley. Let's quickly go through squad lineups. Bristol City have gone for O'Leary, Tanner, Viner, Laysmith, Pring, Matty James, Andy King, Cornick, Scott, Bell and Tommy Conway. Burnley have gone for Peacock, Farrell, Matson, El Dakil, Harwood Bellis, Roberts, Brownhill, Cullen, Benson, Scott Twine starting, Latino and Lyle Foster, who I wasn't expecting to see starting up front for today. If you've not smashed the like button, guys, please do so. It really, really helps the channel when you do so. We're on 4 likes at the moment. Could we get to 10 likes before kickoff? That would be amazing if we can. There's apparently 6 of you there. Or 7 of you now, actually. 4 plus 7 is 11. So, guys, if you've not smashed the like button, please do so. It really, really does help. Let's go for 10 before kickoff. We've only got 2 minutes, but I believe it's possible. Sunderland, Watford. We've got Patterson, Chirkin, Trihum, 09, Gooch, Ekwa, Dan Neil, Jack Clark, Roberts, Ahmad Diallo, and Joe Gerhardt. That's a pretty strong team from Sunderland there. Watford have gone for Batman, Kamara, Cabaselli, Porteous, Ryan Andrews, who I've not really heard of. Hamza Chowdhury, Asprilla, Loser, Kensema, Ismail Assar and Keenan Davis. Good team in paper, but will they produce the results? We'll have to see. Sheffield United were already promoted this weekend. They've gone for Fotheringham, Amadezovic, Basham, Robinson, Matt Slow, Tommy Doyle, Oliver Lord, James McAtee, Jaden Bogle, Billy Sharp and Iliman Ndiaye. That's a very strong team. Woodman, Hughes, Bauer, Story, Ledson, Fernandez, Johnson, Onoma, Brad Potts, Troy Parrott and Tom Cannon start for Preston. That's going to be an interesting game. I think both are playing in the same formation, actually, by the looks of things there, which will be an interesting contest. Holland, Swansea, they've got Cole Darla, who's been really good, actually, as a lone goalkeeper. You've got Louis Coyle, Alfie Jones, Jacob Greaves, Callum Elder, Regan Slater, Jean-Michael Seri, Anima, Sayer Menadish, Uzan Tufan, Harry Vaughan and Adama Traore. Not the bulky Adama Traore, but a different one. I'm on a roll with names today. Andrew Fisher, Ryan Manning, Nathan Wood, Ben Pagano, and Joel Latibodiere. Matt Grimes with Olivia Nunchin, with Jamie Patterson, Luke Cundall, Liam Cullen, and Joel Pirot, the man in form right up front. Stoke and QPR have gone for this. You've got Jack Bonan, Taylor, Phil Jack Elkin, Morgan Foss, Dujon Sterling, Josh Lauren, Ben Pearson, Josh Timon, Will Small, and Tyrese Campbell, and Dwight Gale. QPR have gone for Senny Dieng, and I feel like QPR, a point here will really make them safe. Kenneth Powell, Jimmy Dunn, Rob Dickey, Ethan Laird, Sam Pierre, Iwabunagun. Oh, that's the one name that has to get me. Tim Owegbunam, there we go. Ilias Chair, Jamal Lowe, Albert Adoma, and Lyndon Dykes. Coventry Birmingham, with Ashley still before 3 o'clock, I don't know how. Coventry have gone for Ben Wilson, Luke McManny, Carl McFadstein, Callum Doyle, Norton Cuffey, Eccles, Kelly, Hamer, Bidwell, Kyokeres and Matt Godden. And Coventry could really put themselves in a commanding position within the top 6 with a win here today. Very crucial game for them. Birmingham have gone for Etheridge, Trusty, Long, Mark Roberts, Kolan, Jordan James, Bielik, Chong, Kadra, Joe Bellingham and Lucas Jukovic. Etheridge stepping in goal since... I can't figure his name right now. Ruddy is injured for the rest of the season. Very shame, a big shame on his part. And finally, Reading Wigan, a huge relegation disappointed today. Wigan down if they don't win. Reading are going for Lumley, Yeardham, Holmes, Naby Sarr, Guinness Walker, McIntyre, Kazede, Jeff Kendrick, Junior Hoylett, Lucas Jow and Shane Long. And this is the Wigan team. Can this Wigan team keep Wigan in the league? We've got Jamie Jones, Charlie Hughes, Jack Watmore, Ryan Liambe, Dariqua, Junior Tehi, Max Power, James McLean, Will Keane, Callum Lang, and Josh McGuinness. Those are the teams. Where did I put my headphones? Why are my headphones here? Hang on. Ugh. There they are. It's like I threw my headphones out the way. Okay, well, big announcement for Sky, Jeff Stelling is definitely leaving next season. That's why the panel gave him a standing ovation. Jeff Stelling is officially going to leave Sky Sports. Obviously, he fake left last time, but he has now confirmed after a 1-year extension, he will be leaving after this season. 2 more game weeks of Jeff Stelling in Sky. It's going to be a whole lot of change. I think we could see Julian Warren take over a little bit more. So, sorry to break it to you guys. If any of you weren't watching Sky News, that is the latest announcement. Jeff Stelling will be leaving Soccer Saturday after this season. Let's see who's here. Ethan, welcome to the stream. And actually, in terms of Prediction League, I've managed to update it up to match day 42. So I've still got 43, 44 and 45 left after today at least. But I managed to update it to 42. So I've made a little bit of progress updating the football leagues. But they will be all up to date by Monday, I can promise you. Dextino, welcome to the stream. You've just made it in time when the kickoffs have just started. Right, I'm going to put these on. So I'm going to really struggle to hear myself. It's all very muffled because I'm listening to the commentary right now. Thank you for everyone turning up to the stream today. These games are now starting to kick off now. I'm actually going to turn down the volume a little bit just so I can actually hear myself. If I actually might do this, that helps. Right, not many of you watching, but thank you guys for the support. We're on 6 likes now. If you've not smashed the like button yet, please do so. It really, really does help the growth of this channel. We haven't actually been able to preview the Premier League games. Let's quickly do that too. So, we've not got many Premier League games playing at 3 o'clock. We've got Brighton Wolves. Brighton could command their place trying to get into the top 6 with a win here. Wolves, that can overtake Chelsea with a win here. They've got Steele, Veltman, Webster, Dunk, Estupinan, Gross, Billy Gilmore, Sonny Marsh, Undav, and Cisco, and Danny Welbeck. A lot of good bench players I heard for Brighton as well. Wolves have got Jose Sarr, Bueno, Killman, Dawson, Semedo, João Gomez, Ruben Neves, Mario Lemina, Mateus Nunes, Diego Costa, and Pedro Neto. But that's the bench. Look at that. Robert Sanchez, Colwell, Van Heck, Matoma, Casado, McAllister, Buonotte, Ayari, and Afire. Brentford and Forest have just kicked off now. Must-win game for Nottingham Forest this. They picked up a great win over Brighton Forest, but a win here will really put Forest in a much better position now because they've got a tough couple of games coming up, Forest. They've got to beat a Brentford team who had a great result against Chelsea. They've got David Raya in goal, Hickey, Pinnock, Me, Henry, Damsgaard, Janelt, Jensen, Imbueno, Tony, and Shade up front. For Forest, they've got Kenan Navas, Niakate, Felipe, Joe Rovell, Aurier, Mangala, Danilo, Lodi, Morgan Gibbs-White, Brendan Johnson, and Taiwo Awoniyi. He went off injured, Awoniyi, so I'm glad for him that he managed to recover in time. GH, welcome to the stream. Is there a typo? Thank you, Dextino, for pointing that out. That's why I've got the best community in the world. They won't let these small mistakes slide. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'll fix that now. In fact, you guys can potentially relish the fact that I've made a typo just before I change it. That's going to be some sort of dyslexia going through there. There we go. Fixed. Thank you for pointing that out. But it's a big game because speaking of Ipswich, they could get promoted today, and so could Plymouth right now. We've not got any goals. In fact, we have got a goal. Ignore me. We've got our first goal. It's come at Stadium MKM, and I think I still could get this score correctly because I predicted 3-1 to Swansea, but it's a fantastic start for Hull City as they lead Swansea by 1-0. I wasn't able to see who scored. I wish I actually listened to the commentary about it, but I have just seen Swansea falling behind against Hull City. That's the first goal coming in to the EFL. We've got another goal coming in, this time in League 2. It's a Ben Kabanga own goal, by the way, for the Hull goal. League 2, as you can see, a bit of a top of the table clash between Leyton Orient and Stockport. It's Stockport who take the lead. Now, because Stockport are winning, it means that Stevenage cannot get promoted today. But hang on, look at these goals coming in. So one for the Premier League. Brighton have taken the lead against Wolves. They've already done something more in the opening 6 minutes than they did against Nottingham Forest, which is taking the lead. And it's Dennis Undav who scores that goal. A bit of a second string team for Brighton, but they're still getting the job done at this moment in time. A great start for them. Another championship goal to talk about, and it's another home goal, and it's come to the way of Coventry. I said they needed to win if they want to be serious of getting into the top 6, and they're doing exactly that. Josh Eccles in the 3rd minute, the wide player, managing to score for Coventry. As you can see, this win currently for Coventry puts them back in 5th place with 69 points. And as things are looking at the moment, they're looking relatively safe to get into those top 6 places. It's a huge boost for Millwall with that win yesterday over Blackpool. But Coventry are getting the job done at the moment, and Millwall are going to have to be hoping that results go their way for the fact that they could potentially stay within the top 6 going into the final day of the season, and Millwall have got really, really tough competition in Blackburn Rovers to play. So we've got a really, really big moment here. Even saying Plymouth will go up and Ipswich will not. Well, I really hope that doesn't happen. I really want Ipswich to go up today, just so the stress levels for Ipswich can be kept at a low going into the final day of the season. There could be a disallowed goal for Brighton here. If VAR checking maybe a handball? No, they're checking an offside, sorry. It's an offside they're checking. And it's been given, ignore me, it's absolutely fine. Brighton fans don't have to worry about anything. It's still 1-0 Brighton, no worries here. I don't know if it is Josh Eccles' first goal for the club. I'll look into it, but it's definitely the first one in quite a while for what I can remember. I remembered watching Coventry play against Sunderland in the opening day of the season, and I ripped into Eccles quite a bit. But Eccles, to be fair to him, has really started to improve this season, and has proved to be a very, very important player. Coventry dominating early on, said Vinny. Yeah, by the looks of things, that's exactly what is going on there, and that's a good sign for Coventry. If they can have a quick start, it would give them the platform. But they cannot do what they did against Swansea when they commanded to a 3-0 lead and threw it away. You know, they've got that within them, Coventry, so they've got to make sure that they keep with this. And this will be a huge result for them. This is a must-win game, considering they've got Middlesbrough in the final game week of the season, which will be very tough for Coventry. They're now talking about Leighton Orient goal. It's Wright who scores for Stockport County. And what that means for Stockport is that it really strengthens their chances of the playoffs for a start. But it stops Stevenage going up despite what happens anywhere today. We need to go into League One at some point. And we have got a goal from Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, wow. How are the nerves going to be at Home Park and Portman Road? Because Sheffield Wednesday have done everything right so far. They've taken the lead. Michael Smith, former Rotherham player, scoring for Sheffield Wednesday here. What does that do to the table? It does this. It's not up to date yet, but it should be updating. Yeah, look at this. 93 points Sheffield Wednesday find themselves having at the moment. And Sheffield Wednesday can technically still overtake Plymouth and both Ipswich if both of these results happen. But this is a huge, huge moment at Portman Road. Ipswich have taken the lead against Exeter. That's exactly what Ipswich needed. This was a game that I was a bit nervy for Ipswich about. They really struggle against teams who sit back and park 10 men behind the ball, which is exactly what Exeter would have done. And it's not worked out so successfully for Exeter, you can see, but they played some awful, awful games, Exeter, quite recently, hence why their form is as bad as this. That's a 2-1 defeat to Wednesday here, a 2-1 defeat to Derby here, a 1-0 defeat to Plymouth here, a 3-1 defeat to Peterborough here, and a 1-0 defeat to Bolton here. So in their last 6 games now, they have played the entire top 7, minus Barnsley. That is incredible. But Ipswich have taken the lead. Very nervy day for Ipswich, but they have indeed taken the lead. I don't know who scored it. And it's a full stadium, which is a brilliant sight to see. I don't know who scored it because it won't tell me. It's not updated. Another goal that's just popped in. Oxford have scored against Forest Green. A crucial goal within the relegation battle today. As I said, Oxford picked up a great win over Cheltenham. And currently with this 3 points, it puts Oxford on 47 points. It means currently in the table, Ipswich are top on 97 points. Plymouth will be second with 96, and Sheffield Wednesday will be on 93 as it stands. Stockport have scored another against Leyton Orient, and more goals coming in League 2 also goes in the form of Newport. They've scored one against Gillingham, so a bit of a meaningless game, that one. Rochdale already down, bit of a meaningless game against Sutton. Sutton's form, by the way, has been atrocious, but Rochdale could maybe go down with a tiny bit of pride with a win here. That will put them on 37 points as this stands at the moment. So both of the top three winning, apart from Plymouth, who are currently drawing against Burton Albion. So we've not seen many goals here, only Hull and Coventry scoring the goals within the Championship so far. For the Premier League, we've only seen Brighton opening up the scoring so far. In fact, we've only got 2 Premier League games, so I'm not expecting to see too many goals today. For the National League, they don't play till 5:30 today, so we don't have to worry about that. For the... sorry, I just got an email from something. Oh, so we got a second goal for Brighton. Big goal this for Brighton. So for the National League, what I'm seeing, Chelmsford are losing, which is not good. That is literally the worst case scenario for Chelmsford to fall behind to Taunton 10 minutes in, and that's not good. Oxford still drawing 0-0 with Bath, but Chelmsford are not doing themselves with any pride at the moment. The second goal scorer for Brighton is Pascal Gross, by the way. Right. I'm just going to keep this going here because I just need to respond to a message and an email from work. But tell me who you think is going to score in the next goal. Connor Chaplin, by the way, is the goal scorer for Ipswich, who I wasn't able to say. Thank you to the 6 viewers that are here from today. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me just check something. Multitasking as I do. I mean, that's the struggle when you have to work 2 jobs. You know, there's so... Ooh, okay. Okay. Sorry, it's just something... Okay, well, actually, it's nothing bad. Hang on a minute. It's a very quick reply I can do here. So, yeah, 2-0 Brighton. Pascal Gross with the second goal. Okay. Just multitasking because it's quite an important email I've got to reply to. 2 seconds. There we go. Just sent the email. I've got to send a message as well. And smiley face. There you go. That's that sorted. Sorry about that, guys. I've just had to multitask. I had quite an important email that I had to respond to. Part of when you have to throw yourself on the line and do important work. Right, so thankfully not much has happened. There's only been 1 extra goal which has come in League 1. Bit of a meaningless game, mid-table game between Charlton and Port Vale. Charlton have taken the lead against Port Vale, and it's Tyrese Campbell who has got the goal. 1-0 Charlton. They're talking about Sheffield United. Maybe they're going to go about Plymouth because they're the only League One top 3 team not to have scored so far. It is still 0-0 indeed at Home Park. Is it going to be a little bit nervy for Plymouth going into this? No, they're talking about Sheffield United. I don't know why you linked Sheffield Wednesday into that. Right, well, anyway, nothing has happened since Charlton. Oh no, I lied. There is a goal to talk about here. Literally right in the stroke of me saying nothing's happening. Watford have taken the lead against Sunderland, and that is a blow for Sunderland's chances, of getting into the top 6. Sunderland could have looked at this game as a pretty winnable game with Watford really struggling with their form. But that would be a good 3 points for Watford to try and end their season. But it stops Sunderland overtaking Millwall as it stands. It's a headed goal by the looks of things. So Sunderland starting well, but Watford managed to sneak a goal, and that really does suggest from that attack momentum there as well. That is a real body blow for Sunderland's part, playing well but of not getting results. It's Christian Kabasele who scores for Watford here. So as you can see with terms of the table, Sunderland 7th, but will be 3 points behind Millwall going into the final game of the season as it stands. It gives Blackburn and Preston and West Brom, maybe even Norwich, to get the opportunity to overtake Sunderland. That is how brutal it is for any of the chasing pack to be losing a game at this stage of the season. Can't take anything for granted here. Right, Thomas saying 2-0 Ipswich. I do not see, but if it is 2-0, and it is 2-0 according to SofaScore, it's 2-0 Ipswich, and I'm telling you this, they will be buzzing to be 2 goals up already in this game. I don't know who scored, but that will put Ipswich on 97 points and could see Ipswich get to 100 points if they win their last game against Fleetwood. It's not over yet. You know, there's still over 17 minutes left, so anything can change in that time. It's Massimo Luongo who gave a pretty good interview, actually, previewing this game. Bolton have taken the lead against Fleetwood. That's a huge goal for Bolton Wanderers. They already look pretty confident that they'll be within the top 6. A win here for Bolton will pretty much confirm their playoff place for Bolton, and they're doing exactly everything right at the moment. Derby aren't winning at the moment, and neither are Peterborough. Both are playing home games, and both fairly winnable games for both Derby and Peterborough, but Bolton are applying the pressure early on, but so are Ipswich for the top 3. I think Ipswich are trying to get the job done early, and honestly, it is really looking good at this moment in time. It is promised on a chair with an own goal, which is giving Bolton their opening goal here. The pressure is now going to be on Plymouth especially. A win for Plymouth sends them up. Ipswich are already doing their work and looking quite effective so far with it. Sheffield Wednesday are doing exactly everything right, applying the pressure and not losing their game here. We're getting some real drama here, which I'm absolutely loving. Equalising goal for Gillingham against Newport County. Not really a big game by any means, but it's Tom Nichols from the penalty spot. To talk about the relegation, Hartlepool need to win this game against Barrow to have any sort of chance of survival. And also Crawley need to not pick up a point, and neither of those things are happening for Hartlepool. They're not going the way that they want it to have. I want to see how Chelmsford are doing, and Chelmsford are still losing against Taunton. It's not a great moment for Chelmsford here. Oxford are still drawing, so an opportunity. Chelmsford, if they were to pick up 3 points now, they can be third in the league, which will be their highest position in over 5 years. Right, Tom has been really good as my video printer today. It's been quicker than Sky Sports. I think Tom needs to be in charge of the video printer business more than normal. So he's told me about Bristol Rovers getting the lead in their game against Peterborough. If that's the case, that's a huge goal for Bristol Rovers. I don't think it's popped up yet. But what has happened is we were just talking about Hartlepool. They are 1-0 down to Barrow. And right now, it does look like Hartlepool, after 2 seasons in League 2, will be making a swift journey back down to the National League. It's a shame for Stelling and Hartlepool, but it looks like that is what is going to be happening there. So it's not appeared as one of Bristol Rovers yet, but I'll pop back to that game at this moment in time. I look really small here. I need to be a little bit more upright, you know. I need to look a little bit more commanding here in a good way. Right, what was I going to say? I've completely forgotten. Let's actually read chat. I mean, the only thing I've really seen in chat is the big video printer that Tom has provided here. Only 2 watching. We're on 5 likes. Could we get to 10 likes maybe? If we can, that would be absolutely amazing if we can. That's sad news about Stelling leaving, by the way. You know, we kind of knew that was going to happen, but it's still a really sad reality, unfortunately, as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and it does feel like a bit of a fitting end. You know, it would have been a fitting end, you know, with Hartlepool staying up and Jeff going, you know, I'm just saying, but yeah, he's going, while Hartlepool going down, so yeah, wholesale changes. What's that going to mean for Paul Merson? Is he going to leave when Jeff leaves as well? Who knows? Could see some big changes pop round in the Sky Sports Soccer Saturday studio there. What I would like a podcast with all the old Soccer Saturday mates and do their own version. Do it as in a form of a podcast. Make it a radio series. I would love to hear it. I probably would actually hear it over the actual Sky Sports Soccer Saturday right now. Oh, by the way, Gatsby is still here. He's asleep at the moment, but he is here at this moment of time. All my words, some goals coming in. Let me just quickly go back to this. Ipswich are now 3 up against Exeter. Don't know who got the third, but we will be waiting in due course. Bristol Rovers have not taken the lead there, so might have been an offside goal, and that's been disallowed now, potentially. Anything League 2? We got this. Salford leading Carlisle by 1-0. That's a big goal for Salford City. That's not updated because it should show Salford getting 3 points here. That puts them on 75, and that will almost confirm their place within the top 7, Salford. Callum Hendry scoring for Salford to give them a 1-goal lead here. I think I'm just about to find out who actually scored. So it's George Hurst. George Hurst has scored again after scoring a brilliant solo goal against Barnsley in midweek. Ipswich score again today. And look at that. They're looking very, very comfortable now. Same, what Ipswich need to get promoted. So Ipswich just need to win. Ipswich, if they win, it doesn't matter what Sheffield Wednesday do. It means that Ipswich are up and they're doing everything right at the moment. And Portsmouth have taken the lead against Derby. That could be a big blow for Derby. They've got to be very careful because Derby, in the final day of the season, have got to play Sheffield Wednesday. If Sheffield Wednesday have the chance still to take down Plymouth to get that final space, that's going to be a very tough game for Derby. And them losing this game is not ideal. Peterborough are not winning their game against Bristol Rovers at the moment. They're only drawing their game. There's another goal in the Premier League, and it's all appeared in one game, and it's 3-0 to Brighton. They have been so confident today, second string team, I'd said that team was, and it's been playing like the first team. Undav with the first goal and Pascal Gross with a brace within 13 minutes of each other. Absolutely incredible. That puts Brighton on 52 points with 31 games. They are only 2 points off the top 6 with 2 games in hand. I think top 4 is going to be tricky because they're 8 points behind United with the same amount of games being played. But for a European place in the top 6 and Europa League, that is looking like a real possibility right now. It's incredible. So I'm hearing about the Portsmouth goal. Derby dominating, but Portsmouth going round the other end and sneaking a chance of their own and getting the goal. That seems to be very typical at the moment. Let's see what's going on with Reading and Wigan. This is a huge game. Wigan need to win. There's no doubt about that. Wigan need to win, otherwise they're down. At this moment of time, they're not. So Wigan will be going down with Blackpool. And currently, there's been very little to talk about. Only 2 shots to 1. I did say my predictions that I think it's going to be a very, very cagey game. Very cagey. And that is exactly what we're seeing at this moment of time. So I won't be very surprised if we see very little action here. Going to League One, Plymouth are not winning their game. And it looked like Plymouth had a good start, but Burton's starting to grow into it. So Plymouth need to be a little bit careful here. League 2, in terms of anything that's happened, Salford have now made it 2-0, and they're actually talking 2-0 Mellow at Brunton Park, but they've only kept it 1-0. Harrogate have just scored here. That's a big goal for Harrogate. I mean, they were practically safe already following great results recently. But this is a big result regarding the top 7 because Mansfield are the team chasing the top 7 down, and now they're losing. It gives Bradford a really, really good chance of securing that top 7 place. In fact, it almost confirms that the current top 7 is going to stay the same if Mansfield do not win today. And currently, they are losing to Harrogate, who have had a bit of a revival quite recently. Quite similar with Colchester there. You know, when the pressure came on, they turned their form around in a really big way. So fair play to them there. Are Chelmsford finally going to start winning here? Please tell me that they've got it sorted. No, they're still losing, and Oxford are still Oh wait, hang on, what's going on here? Oh, this is not good at all, because Worthing are winning their game. They've now overtaken Chelmsford. Right, this is bad. This is really, really bad. Chelmsford need to win it. Worthing are beating Hemel Hempstead, which Chelmsford played quite recently, and we only got a 0-0 draw out of them. Gosh, this is not turning out to be Chelmsford's day at the moment. They need to pick up a win here, because that could really take Chelmsford all the way up to 3rd. That is telling you how close it is. Look at that. From 3rd place here to 5th here. 1 point separates it. A lot can change and a lot can swing to one way or the next. But that is a big, big blow currently for Chelmsford. They're getting the worst of it. And what an incredible opening first half we're getting for Ipswich Town here. 4-0, sorry, I read that as 40-0. 4-0 to Ipswich, 27 minutes in. Honestly, this could be a cricket score. Nathan Broadhead with a penalty goal. Nathan Broadhead now with 2 goal contributions, same as George Hurst. Chaplin with 1, Massimo Luongo with 1 goal contribution, and Sam Morsey getting 1 goal contribution as well. Still 0-0 between Plymouth and Burton. They're going to be the worst out of the outcomes so far, because Sheffield Wednesday are winning their game. They're doing everything right at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday applying the pressure, especially on Plymouth currently. Right now, nothing else has happened within the Championship. I think we've all caught up in terms of goals. Let's see if I can catch up on chat. Brighton are flying. Because Manchester United won the FA Cup and they'll face Man City in the FA Cup final, 6th and 7th in the EPL, will most likely be the Europa League and Europa Conference places, respectively. Oh yeah, well, Man United won the Carabao Cup, didn't they? and they face Man City in FA Cup. Ooh, that's a good point, actually. It's always confusing about when the places change when we get teams winning the competitions. But, yeah, Brighton, I feel like they should aim for 6th, I think. I think 6th place is a good aim for Brighton. And they can achieve it currently, considering the competition that they've got to face. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Don't worry about that. Right, Morecambe score against... no, not Morecambe. Lincoln, unfortunately, for Morecambe, have scored against them here. That is not good at all for Morecambe, who could get relegated today if they lose and Oxford and MK Dons win. Well, Oxford are winning, MK Dons are not, but if we put this to the table here, excuse me, Morecambe will be on Morecambe will be on 41, and MK Dons will be on 44. And honestly, right now, looking at that goal difference, that will practically send Morecambe down if they lose today. They really cannot afford to lose today, Morecambe, but they're doing exactly that as Sorensen, Lasse Sorensen to be precise, has taken the lead for Lincoln, and Lincoln having a brilliant second half of the season. I was told there's a chance for goal. It's not updated. But if so... no, it's not. Someone's trolled me with the chance for goal. Doncaster have scored against Colchester, though. So, another Essex team losing today. This time in the form of Doncaster Rovers. They are ahead with Tommy Rowe in the 30th minute, making it 1-0. I was just saying that MK Dons, if they win, they will send Morecambe down officially currently. But Barnsley are doing Morecambe one hell of a favour because Barnsley are now beating MK Dons. This is a big, big moment for them there. And it's Herbie Kane who scores for Barnsley. Looks like they've responded well to getting beaten by Ipswich Town in mid-week. And looking at how they're playing right now, you know, maybe that's no disgrace for the fact that Barnsley did lose out in that way. 3 points for Barnsley could still mean that Barnsley may end the season on 90 points, 91 points even, and only finish 4th place. That tells you how competitive League One has been this year. Quite incredible, really, to be honest. So, yes, I'm going to be very careful if I see a notification about Chelmsford now. Bradford have taken the lead against Northampton. Now, that's a big goal following the promotion race because Northampton needed to win this game to confirm promotion today. But Andy Cook for Bradford has made things very tricky for Northampton now. So, it has updated now. So, Bradford with 3 points puts them on 75. Northampton will be on 80 points, joint points with Stevenage currently. And the fact that Stockport are winning their game, it means that Stockport are only 2 points behind Northampton and Stevenage and can still potentially go up. And Stockport face already relegated Huddersfield by the looks of things in their final game of the season. This is ridiculous. We're back to Portman Road already. It is 5 for Exeter. Oh, for Ipswich. Exeter will wish they had 5. But it's another goal for Ipswich. And it's Connor Chaplin again with the goal. Absolutely incredible. Bianca Vestal's not going to have any hearing left by the sounds of it. They are absolutely cruising. Goal at Ashton Gate. Burnley, who could still get up to 101 points. They have taken the lead here. So if we refresh here, a win currently for Burnley takes them on 98 points, which is already incredible enough as it is for most championship teams. Don't know who scored the goal, but we will get that confirmation very, very soon. Service calls trolling. No, I don't see that. I don't see that. I'm going to be very careful when I see any notification regarding a Chelmsford goal now. It's a big, big game for Chelmsford. If they win, like as with results are going right now, they will finish 3rd, which will be incredible. So Emmanuel Benson has scored the goal to put Burnley ahead in this game. He's been on fire, Emmanuel Benson, recently. He scored a brilliant goal for Burnley to win them the title against Blackburn. And it looks like he's scoring more goals today. Excuse me. So yeah, with Bristol City not much to play for, so I could only imagine that right now, Burnley could potentially see an opportunity, find some motivation, and potentially try and, get over the 100 point mark, because they are really capable of getting that at the moment. Now, I know Plymouth are drawing at the moment, 0-0, but they were drawing at half-time against Bristol Rovers until a moment of quality got them the opening goal. Plymouth are not out of it yet. If Plymouth fall behind to Burton, then that will make things very interesting, and it gives Sheffield Wednesday a lifeline. The goal for Burnley is even better than his 3 other goals this week. That is incredible if that's the case. I will be looking at that. Another goal for a Sheffield club, not for Sheffield Wednesday though. They'll be wishing for another goal, but it is Sheffield United who have scored here. Anel Amadezovic scores for Sheffield United, and that's a real blow for Preston's chances of getting into the top 6. A defeat for Preston, as you can see, puts them on 63 points, and in fact, it will be mathematically impossible for Preston to get into the top 6 as things stand. Preston really need to win. Even a draw won't be enough. If Preston want to get top 6, they have to win today, and it's not easy to win against a Sheffield United team who are going to be partying now with this win. I predicted 1-0 Sheffield United, so if it stays like this, that will be 3 points for me within the prediction league. So right now, it's looking like a very, very good day for Millwall, because right now Sunderland are losing. Blackburn, if they do not pick anything, they'll be 3 points behind Millwall going to the final day, and they'll actually have to play against Blackburn there. West Brom, they are West Brom have got to play Norwich later. Oh my god, wow. West Brom and Norwich could see this as a big moment, but a draw for either West Brom and Norwich, it's game over for both regarding top 6. So each one of them, I'm hoping, is going to really attack that game and go for the win here. Obviously, with Swansea losing, they won't be able to get to a top 6, but a win for Swansea really slowly but surely edges them into the conversation of getting to the top 6, believe it or not. Thank you, Tony, for your contribution there, by the way. Thank you to everyone turning up to the stream today. I'm aware that these 3 p.m. kickoff streams don't really generate a lot of views and stuff like that compared to my other ones, but I really wanted to react to Soccer Special live, and it's a big, big game week with the amount that can happen, and it just felt right for me to get that stream sorted. If you guys can smash the like button, by the way, that would be amazing support for the channel. If you can get to 10 likes, that would be absolutely amazing if we could do so. We recently hit 1,700 subs as well, so thank you guys so much for that support. There is a goal in League One which I forgot to speak about, which has been there for a while, but Cheltenham from the penalty spot are beating Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe out of the conversation in the top 6 now, really. And a 4th goal for Brighton. So Brighton and Ipswich completely dominating their games. Danny Welbeck now making it 4-0 Brighton. I mean, this is going to be up there for one of Brighton's best performances of the season. They clearly did not take that defeat to Nottingham Forest very, very well, and have come back hard, wanting to get something here. Forest, by the way, still drawing at Brentford. If they win and get 34 points, they won't go ahead of West Ham, but that will be... Oh no, they'll be on 33 points, sorry. So I can't do maths right now. So they'll be 1 point behind West Ham, but they'll generate a 3-point gap from Leeds, and it puts the pressure on Leeds to try and get a result. And I'm telling you this, if you're a Leeds fan, you're going to be very, very nervous now, especially after playing Leicester recently and drawing the game the way that they did, considering the miss that Bamford made, for instance. That could really come to cost them there. There is a goal in the Championship, which is why I'm switching back to there immediately. Luke Cundle for Swansea getting the equaliser. I've been speaking a win for Swansea could really enter them into the conversation following the chasing sides losing currently with Sunderland and both Preston losing. And Swansea, this could be big. Look at that, it puts Swansea in 10th place in the table. What a brilliant second half of the season that they had. If only their first half wasn't so bad, it really could see Swansea, as a really, really promising team. A lot still has to go their way to get them into the top 6, but it really gives them now that good sense of momentum, maybe a bit more optimism going into next season as well. Ethan is already accepting relegation for Leeds. I wouldn't accept relegation already. It's not confirmed, of course, but you need to pick up wins when, especially in your home games as well. If I actually go back to SofaScore and show you what games Leeds have got to try and save themselves. Paul Merson's just made a noise, which means something's happened between Brentford and Forest. Look at that, Bournemouth Leeds. I know they're away from home, but come on, Leeds have got to try and get something against Bournemouth here. You've got Man City, which you've got to take the defeat as it goes. Newcastle, you've got to try and take the defeat. And then you've got West Ham here. So West Ham and both Bournemouth away from home, Leeds have got to look at that and try and get at least 4 points out of that, I feel, in my opinion. And Spurs might actually not be a bad game, considering the way that they're playing at the moment. But it is very much against Leeds at the moment. Equalising goal for Hartlepool, Jack Hamilton making it 1-1, keeping Hartlepool just about alive, but because Crawley aren't losing, Hartlepool are still going to go down currently. Sutton have got a consolation goal, or maybe a comeback moment for Sutton, as it's now 2-1 in that game. Yep, Hartlepool equaliser indeed. I've just seen it. Brilliant. Bournemouth only beat us once in history. Well, Leeds have got to really look at that and think, right, this is the most important time that they're playing Bournemouth right now. And Bournemouth are playing quite well at the moment. So if you beat them and knock them off their stride, psychologically, that could send Bournemouth down and that could give Leeds a boost. Ooh. So there's a penalty apparently at the CBS. Who's it going to? I think it's Coventry who've got a penalty, and that's a big moment in this game. Big goal in League One, which I'll talk about in a minute, but let's focus on Coventry, who could see themselves 2-0 up if they take their chance here. But no, okay, let's go back to League One because that's a big goal in the relegation battle here. Look at this goal for Cambridge United. They've taken the lead against Accrington Stanley. Accrington, as I said, could go down today, and it's really not looking good for them. So it's not impossible because they can still stay up, obviously, with MK Dons losing to Barnsley. But both Morecambe and Accrington with a body blow now. They really have got to be hoping that MK Dons could pick up a single point. Cambridge also recovering here. Look at that. They're joint on points with MK Dons. Coventry have scored their penalty. They're now 2-0 up and potentially now cruising to get 5th place. That is a huge goal for Coventry now to be 2-0 up. Victor Gyökeres on the penalty spot. 42nd minute penalty. 2-0 Coventry. I said it was a must win, and they are indeed winning that game quite comfortably so far. Nothing still changing within the top 3 at the moment. It's still the same outcome. That's a huge goal for Cambridge, just to repeat about how significant that is. Despite Hartlepool drawing, because Crawley are not losing their game, despite what happens, Hartlepool will still go down currently. Swindon taking the lead against Crewe. Bit of a mid-table game that, so not much here. I've not actually changed the screen, so sorry about that. Gyökeres with a goal indeed. What a moment that is for Coventry to get 2-0 up at this stage of the game. Very, very big. So there's apparently going to something happening at the Plymouth game. Right, big goal. I was just saying there's been no change within League One. There are some moments happening now at Home Park. And it's a goal, of course, you would predictably say, Plymouth. Plymouth have scored. Niall Ennis, who was the one who scored that wonder goal against Bristol Rovers. Incredible, Niall Ennis. And he has scored again today, which puts Plymouth on 30 wins out of 45 this season. Incredible, honestly. Just the standard is so incredibly high. 2/3 of their wins, Plymouth, 2/3 of their games, Plymouth, have been wins. To have a win rate of 66.7% is incredibly consistent. And to bear in mind, Ipswich's win rate is only 50.5%. My word. So that tells you why Plymouth are just up there at the moment, and they have really earned it. So that means currently Sheffield Wednesday, despite doing everything right, it means Sheffield Wednesday will have to settle for playoffs. I don't want to jinx it, but it sounds like to me, I don't think they'll be expecting Ipswich to drop points being 5-0 up. But Plymouth will be, Sheffield Wednesday will be hoping that Plymouth potentially drop points after only being 1 goal up. But it's equally hard for Sheffield Wednesday. They have to make sure they win against Shrewsbury as well, which is not an easy team to play up against. It's a good result for Sheffield Wednesday currently to get a 1-0 lead against them there. But fortunately at the moment for them, nothing is going their way. There's something that's happened in the other Premier League game. Finally, we're getting a moment in that game. And what a moment for Nottingham Forest. They've scored. Forest have an away goal. Incredible. They've only won 1 away game all season, Nottingham Forest, and they've taken the lead here. This could be huge for their relegation battle. 2 wins in a row would put Nottingham Forest on 33 points out of 34 games and will keep themselves 4 points clear of the bottom 3. Delino with the goal in the 46th minute just before half time. That is a huge goal for Nottingham Forest. It really puts the pressure now back on West Ham and back on Leeds United. And obviously the current bottom 3 teams, Leicester, Everton and of course Southampton, they will be feeling that pressure as well. What a moment this is. Not over yet. Forest have got to try and keep that lead throughout the rest of the second half, and Brentford are a tricky team to get a result against, as I saw for Chelsea, not yesterday, but midweek. But if Forest hold on it, it'll be only their second away of the season, and that would really be a huge boost for their relegation trouble. We're going to start getting half times coming in now, which is no surprise to me. Wow, what a moment that is. Pretty much the last kick of that half was that goal for Nottingham Forest. That is a huge moment and could potentially be a big twist in that relegation battle as well. And I got to say, a lot of people like to kind of knock out Marianakis there, but I think he would actually be heavily praised here. He put his neck on the line, backing Steve Cooper to get the job done to make Nottingham Forest survive. And right now, if it is 2 wins in a row for Forest, it gives them a big boost, considering Forest have still got Arsenal to play. It's a really tough run in for Forest at the end of the season, and they're doing everything right at the moment. Leeds have got a tough run in as well, which could give them a boost. West Ham have not got an easy run in either. Everton have got a tough run in. Leicester have got a quite forgiving run in, so Leicester could see a big opportunity coming out of this. I think Southampton already done, but yeah, in terms of teams I'm worried about now, West Ham, Leeds especially, and Everton. I'm not even including Southampton because I do think they're down, unfortunately. Even though they can bring the great performance, which I did see against Arsenal, I think they are down. I think it's just too much for Southampton to do now. They're going to have to go on a miraculous run of form. But right now, this is a big boost. It's exactly what Nottingham Forest, really needed. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to take these headphones off because it's practically half time for all of the games right now. We will be covering what the implications currently mean for all of the major leagues. We'll be basically reacting, and basically I'll be responding to all of your comments. All of that stuff really. I'm just trying to find something. I can't spell apparently. Oh, come on, why can't I type? Basically, I just want to see Chelmsford's history of finishes. And they're not showing it. I don't know why they're not showing it. But yes, right now, big results going on at this moment of time. The only downside to all these results so far is obviously for the fact that Chelmsford are currently losing. And that's really not making me happy at the moment, because it's a big opportunity missed for Chelmsford if they do lose this game and they do not get third. And the fact they could finish fifth, it just makes it worse. It really does, to be honest. I cannot find... well, I know their current season, but I want to see what they've done previously. So last season, I'm just telling you how big of an improvement this is for Chelmsford for the start. Chelmsford were 19th place last year. They were only 2 places above the relegation zone and only survived by 5 points. That is incredible in itself that Chelmsford have improved as much as that. If you go by the 2021 season, which definitely would have been impacted from COVID, Chelmsford were mid-table, so nothing really of note to note down here. If we go for the season before that, where that would have been affected by COVID as well, but they would have actually given teams the benefit of the doubt. Chelmsford missed out on the top 7 due to the points per game method there. They didn't even finish there, to be honest, so there's nothing to write home about. Now we're going far back as the 18-19 season, and this was the last time Chelmsford were actually in the top 7. They finished 4th in that season with 72 points currently. We lost out to Welling, I think, if I remember right, in the playoffs quarter-final, I think it could have been. So right now, I'm just feeling all the nerves right now. It really is a nervy moment there. So 18-19 season was the last time Chelmsford were up there. So that's 4 seasons ago. So 4 seasons ago, Chelmsford were last within the top 7. And then the season before that was when they finished 3rd, which is exactly what I want Chelmsford to do. And I was right. The last time they finished 3rd was 5 seasons ago. That season there, 74 points Chelmsford had. And this was the season when Braintree got promoted, which was even more painful for Chelmsford fans. Dartford was also 2nd place in that season as well, funnily enough, as well. So they do have a really big chance for repeating history there, but at this moment, because they are losing currently to Taunton Town, they're ultimately going to really have a dull end to the season. And what to make matters worse, Oxford are winning their game and Bath are down to 10 men. So it really couldn't be a worst case scenario for Chelmsford right now. They're in 5th. They can't finish any lower than 5th, but they really could have finished in 3rd. But right now, even despite if Chelmsford even do win, because Oxford are winning, Chelmsford won't be able to finish 3rd. If that's the case now, especially with them having a man advantage, what I want at least is Chelmsford to even get a draw, because a draw would mean that they can overtake Worthing, and Worthing have come on to a 3-1 lead. So an equaliser for Chelmsford would be huge right now. It would, but because it means Chelmsford will currently play Braintree. Oh my word. Oh god, that's scary. An Essex derby in the playoff semi-final potentially. God, that's going to be very fierce. Right, let's actually talk about the reaction to these 3 p.m. games so far. Ethan's wanting Brentford to beat Forest here. He's seeing Forest as a potential side who could go down, but currently Forest winning is going to really put Leeds in danger. So let's actually talk about that first. Let's talk about the one goal between Brentford and Forest. It came just before the first half ended. What a big goal this is. Let's look at stats to see if it was any close. 7 shots to 3, but look at that. 5 shots on target to 1. Forest scoring with their only shot on target. It sounds pretty typical for Forest to not have a lot of the ball, and they're just trying to be clinical, and they've proven to be clinical. And look at that. Apparently both teams have both missed one big chance. Forest are going to have to try and manage the game as well as they did against Brighton and make sure that they keep the lead and they do not allow Brentford to get back into it. But easier said than done with Mbumo and Ivan Toney in your squad. Brighton may have already wrapped the game up with a 4-0 lead within 39 minutes. What an incredible scoreline that is. Undav, Pascal Gross with a brace, and Danny Welbeck with the 4th goal, with Estupiñán getting the assist there. Wolves, I think, are safe, but right now, it's looking like a really bad moment for their goal difference. Wolves could have overtaken Chelsea, beating Brighton today, but it looks like Chelsea are going to stay in 12th as it stands. I mean, they've got top of the league Arsenal to play, so I'm not really confident with Chelsea's chances of climbing up the table. For the Championship, got quite a few games still 0-0, but we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, so it's been difficult. It's been easy to keep up with it, actually. Reading, Wigan. So currently, Wigan are relegated as it stands. They need to get a win here. No shots on target so far, and Reading looking more likely to score. Reading are doing everything right at the moment, apart from getting the goal. Reading with a draw. They draw on points from Huddersfield, but Huddersfield goal difference is actually better than Reading's. And Huddersfield have the chance to really take themselves away from danger if they beat Cardiff tomorrow. QPR drawing at the moment, and that actually means that no matter what happens, QPR are most definitely safe. Coventry 2-0 up against Birmingham at the moment. 2 goals coming from them. Josh Eccles getting the first, and Victor Gyökeres scoring from the penalty spot. That means Coventry will be in 5th place with 69 points. And it means that they will confirm top 6 currently. So, Sunderland cannot catch up with Coventry as it stands. But Blackburn could still catch up with them with 2 games left. They also need to pick up a really, really good result. They've got Luton though, so Blackburn will struggle. West Brom, if they win, they could still have a chance to catch up with Coventry, but I'm trying to calculate goal difference quickly, and Coventry have got a much better goal difference. West Brom's is +6, Coventry's is +12. But not impossible for the goal differences to swing differently. Norwich a win. In fact, Norwich, if they win, they cannot catch up with Coventry, but they can still catch up with Millwall. So, Norwich may think that they should really try and get 3 points in this game. They could really have a late comeback getting into this. But yeah, Coventry looking very strong now for playoffs if they win this game here. Birmingham mid-table, so they won't really be thinking too much of this. Stoke QPR 0-0. The only thing to talk about, QPR at this point will confirm their survival as results are going their way at the moment. Hull and Swansea, Hull in the mid-table position. Swansea with a draw is putting them into 10th place. It will mean, however, Swansea cannot get top 6 if they do not win. A win for them does keep Swansea still in the race, and it actually raises them quite high up the table, actually. But as it stands, it's not looking good for Swansea's chance for the top 6. Sheffield United beating Preston. I mean, we've already confirmed the top 2 places of the table. It just means Sheffield United are continuing their great form. And it means Preston can't get top 6 currently as things stand. This is a big result here. So Watford with a win. They've been struggling with their form, but Watford will be on 62. They know they can't get top 6 now. But they could be stopping Sunderland from getting in. Millwall currently building up a 3-point gap in that final playoff place, which is proving to be a really, really decisive win by the sounds of it yesterday against Blackpool by 3-2. Finally, Bristol City and Burnley. I mean, Burnley looking like a win here is really going to put them in great position to try and get 100 points. They know a win in their last game of the season against Cardiff will be the difference. Very, very quickly with League One. I mean, we've got 12 League One games, so we won't go about it. We'll talk about the main games that we'll have to discuss. Huge moment this. Cambridge getting a goal just before half-time. Harrison Dunk getting the goal. It gives Cambridge a really big moment here. And Cambridge, I know for a fact, have to play Forest Green next. That could be a big moment for Cambridge here. And I would fear if I was an MK Dons fan at the moment. I think Oxford right now... ignore me. Oxford with a win here are safe. Because MK Dons can't catch up with them. It's only Cambridge who can overtake Oxford currently in this scenario here. So yeah, Oxford are doing everything right. Cambridge with that goal here could send Accrington down, but as it stands they are not down because MK Dons are losing against Barnsley. Same scenario in Morecambe, they're not down because Barnsley are beating MK Dons, but Morecambe will be wanting to try and get something here from this game. Oxford, as I said, a win here keeps them up, and they're doing exactly that. So they're staying in League One as it stands. Picked up a great win over Cheltenham midweek, and against Forest Green, they're doing everything right here. Nothing to separate Peterborough and Bristol Rovers as it stands, which is not good for Peterborough. You know, with the fact that Derby are losing their game, it gives Peterborough a good chance to get an advantage over them going into the final game week of the season. So right now, Peterborough need to try and take advantage of Derby not winning that game. We could see a lot of twists and turns going into the second half. Bolton currently beating Fleetwood by 1-0. What does that do for the top 6? Well, it puts Bolton in 5th, as you can see, on 78 points. And it means that Bolton, as current results stand, will be in the playoffs. They cannot afford to concede a goal now. We already talked about MK Dons and the implications of Barnsley. Thing to talk about Barnsley, they could get up to 90 points now, really, which is incredible if they can win their final game of the season. Sheffield Wednesday doing everything right in their game. They're beating Shrewsbury, but at this moment of time, Ipswich have combined to a 5-0 lead, and Plymouth just before half-time have taken the lead themselves to really give Sheffield Wednesday bit of a body blow, but Sheffield Wednesday cannot use this moment to give up. They really need to look at this thinking, right, if they win this one, they got to just hope that Plymouth drop points. Right now, I don't think those things will be happening, but you never know. We talked about Derby, about their jeopardy of staying into the top 6. A defeat to Portsmouth there really puts Derby in danger, especially if Peterborough can find a goal and a win here, because Derby have got Sheffield Wednesday in the final game week of the season. Plymouth, as I said, beating Burton, very late goal in the first half, 45 minutes actually, in fact. Danny Mayer with the assist. We're just talking about Oxford being safe, where they've got a second goal against Forest Green. That's not updated, but the video printer for Sky has said they've got a second goal. Tyler Goodrum with that goal. And Ipswich 5-0 up against Exeter. That is looking like that it's going to be a return for the championship for the Tractor Boys. Right. That is my breakdown of all of this. Let's read your comments. Realistically, it's going to be a battle between Spurs, Villa, Liverpool and Brighton for European places. Oh, I agree. And that's going to be a fierce contest. I'll give you that. Do you mean Spurs could be a midfield team next season if Kane and Son left? Depends who they get in as their manager. If they get like... I no disrespect to Company, but if he goes in and they lose all that players, it feels almost a bit like the Chelsea scenario where they lost, whole, star quality players with an Premier League unproven. I was going to say unproven, but I don't think Company's an unproven manager. I just think he's a bit unproven Premier League quality, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. It could work in Spurs' favour, but right now I think their recruitment's been poor. And I think if Levy stays around, I think it's just going to continuously stay on a plateau of disappointment for Spurs. And I really do feel sorry for them, actually, begrudgingly. Okay, so second halves are now starting to get underway. I wish I had a bottle of water on me to kind of help my throat a little bit, because there's been a lot of talking today, as it always is when it comes to these streams. What are you doing, Gatsby? He's snoring right now. He's enjoying life at this moment of time. And you guys have not seen Gatsby that much. I mean, likely because I've just... Oh, my camera's gone. I've tried to adjust my computer. My camera's just fallen. Hang on. Let's actually use this time for you to see Gatsby. Oh, look at the shake on that. Do you see him? There he is. There's a penalty. MK Dons have a penalty. Oh, that's not good. That's not good for Morecambe and Accrington Stanley. Remember, if MK Dons and Oxford win and both of them lose, both Morecambe and Accrington will go down. That could be a big moment in the relegation battle. I think what's also substantial as well is the goal difference as well. MK Dons has scored from the penalty spot, and it now really puts nearly the final nail in the coffin for Morecambe and Accrington, especially if neither one of them can find a way to win. Mo Isa guaranteed to get you a great amount of success. He scored from the penalty spot. Mo Isa really kind of being the saviour for MK Dons quite recently. Right, so we're going to go to Reading and Wigan. I mean, this is the one I shouldn't be surprised that there's not many goals, but the coverage needs to be big here. You know, this is a league club safety being put in jeopardy here. Both of them being in jeopardy of going down. You know, I was expecting a little bit more coverage from this. But yeah, it's been very quiet, as I probably should have expected. I think I said a 1-1 draw for this one, so I could be right on the draw part, but yeah, it's looking to be really quiet here. If you guys have not smashed the like button, by the way, please do so. It really does help the growth of this channel when you do that. And I said it could be tables for Morecambe. Morecambe are 2-0 down now against Lincoln. Right, I don't know what Sterling was doing there. Anyway, Lincoln are now 2-0 up against Morecambe. It could be curtains for them. And it's Matty Virtue with that goal. So if you see what the table looks like now, MK Dons should be on 44 points now. Morecambe and Accrington are 3 points behind now. And it's 5 for Brighton at the Amex. This is incredible. 5-0 to Brighton. Incredible. I don't know who scored, but I'm still waiting. Okay, Danny Welbeck again. A brace for Danny Welbeck. So a brace for Gross, and now Welbeck are really putting Wolves down. Goals in League One. So 2 of them going from the top 3 teams. So Sheffield Wednesday giving themselves a bit of a cushion now. 2-0 up against Shrewsbury. Michael Smith again with the goal. Ipswich again scoring very early on in the second half. 6-0 now. That's not updated, but it will be 6-0. Wes Burns scoring for Ipswich now. Another goal in League One, and it's gone to Morecambe. Morecambe could maybe creep back into this. Cole Stockton, within 2 minutes going 2-0 down, have now reduced the deficits back to 1. And that's what Morecambe need. Morecambe really needs something from this. And another championship goal, which I think is going to be an L for my predictions. I think I said 0-0 for Stoke and QPR. I actually can't remember what I predicted. I think I predicted a draw. But QPR have taken the lead here, which will, if they weren't safe already with a point, they're most definitely going to be safe now with a win. Albert Odoma in the 48th minute, making it 1-0 to QPR. And that will put them on 50 points. And not far behind for Birmingham and, ironically, Stoke City, who they're playing today. I mean, right now, Wigan are in deep trouble now. Really, real trouble. And basically, Wigan's going to have the same problem that Blackpool had. Because Huddersfield and Reading play each other, that will mean that Wigan also go down. So Wigan really, need to get something against Reading here. If they don't, they're going to be relegated ultimately by the same reason that Blackpool were relegated last night. League Two, not really seen anything happen from League Two at the start of the second half. Can I see chance for drawing? No, they're still losing to Taunton and are still 5th place in the table. In fact, it's even worse because Taunton have taken a 2-0 lead now, and it looks like that Chelmsford are going to have to settle for 5th place unless Hemel Hempstead can get 2 goals against Worthing, which doesn't look likely. What a real dejection, considering the improvement Chelmsford made, and what a moment this is for League One. Hang on a minute, it's not Burton getting an equaliser, but for the relegation picture, MK Dons have now taken the lead against Barnsley. What that means, it means that Morecambe and Accrington are getting relegated today. That is what is currently happening. Jonathan Lecco managing to get the goal for MK Dons here. That would mean that MK Dons are really slowly but surely starting to be safe, and that is a blow for Cambridge, considering how well they're doing to get a win here. Cambridge are playing against Forest Green, so if they win that game against Forest Green, they'll be joint on points currently with MK Dons if they do hold on with that 2-1 scoreline at the moment. I'm trying to calculate goal difference here. So they've got -28 Cambridge. MK Dons have got -21. So MK Dons' goal difference is a lot better than Cambridge's right now. Ipswich are doing a 2019-20 Wigan result. I still remember that result to this day when it was 8-0. Was it 8-0 that Wigan beat Hull City by? I remember the very video I did as well. I actually added a tiny bit of shithousery into my content. So if you were able to find the video, it's match day 42, 43, 44 of the 1920 season when I made that video. I basically, during my analysis of Wigan versus Hull when they lost 8-0, because basically in the goal highlights, all you hear is the goal celebration, or the goal music, as people call it. And I actually put that same goal music as my background music when I was talking through that analysis, which, to be fair, I was a pretty small content creator, so I didn't really that didn't really rub too many Hull City players down the wrong way. But my word, it was nearly 7 for Ipswich apparently, from what I've heard. Incredible. What is Brighton's biggest win in history? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not too sure what their biggest win in history is. They may have had a big scoreline in the Championship, but I know they've beaten a lot of teams 4-0, but 5-0, yeah. I don't know if they've ever beaten anyone 5-0 in my recent memory. This is incredible, honestly. A big U-turn in the relegation picture of League One currently, with MK Dons completing the comeback against Barnsley. It means Barnsley cannot finish above 90 points as it stands with this result. But more importantly, it gives MK Dons a huge boost. It really, really does. Considering that Cambridge have got to play Forest Green and they can be joint on points for MK Dons currently, it means that they can take the relegation battle into the final game week of the season, which will be huge. It will be huge for MK Dons to do that, considering that they've got the toughest run-in out of those teams. Oxford are currently safe with their win currently over Forest Green. Rochdale are now 3-1 up against Sutton. It's a meaningless result for Rochdale's purposes, but for Sutton, it's been a really, really dreadful second half of the season, and they'll be a team who could potentially be favourites for relegation if they do not pick up their momentum in the start of next season. Sunderland still needs to try and get something here. They're still 1-0 down to Watford. A win for Sunderland would really, really change the complexity of the top 6 race, but because Watford are doing well to keep them at bay, it's really giving Millwall a huge step into that top 6 place. Excuse me. Another big away goal, really. in the Premier League, you know, has fallen in the way of Nottingham Forest. They're still beating Brentford by 1-0 currently. And at this moment of time, they're doing everything right. Andre Ayew has come on for Tyra Awoniyi. And that puts them on 33 points with 2 wins in a row currently. I think we're hearing more goals coming in. Right, okay, big goal in terms of the promotion for League 2. It has appeared at the Lamex Stadium, not the Amex, but the Lamex Stadium, and it's gone to Stevenage against Grimsby. Grimsby got a pretty decent away record, but Stevenage have taken the lead. That is a boost for Stevenage. Now, what that means is currently, as it stands, Stevenage are up. Stevenage, that will be good enough for Stevenage. Stevenage could go to League One, I believe, for the first time in their history. There's been a goal in the Premier League. Oh, is it from the Premier League? I don't know. There's been a goal, though. Oh, it's at CBS. Oh. Is it a goal? I thought I heard goal. I think it must have been a scream. Anyway, Stevenage have scored there to make it 1-0 against Grimsby. What that means is that they are 4 points clear of Stockport. So it means Stevenage will be promoted currently as it stands. And Northampton will have to take this into the final day of the season. Right, apparently they had a goal disallowed from offside, apparently. That's why nothing happened there. Jayden Stockley sent off for Fleetwood. That's a blow for them. I mean, they're going to face Ipswich next. And now they've lost one of their best source for goals in Jayden Stockley. So Stockport have got Hartlepool to play next, who Northampton have to end the season. They've got Tranmere. Really not good for a day for Northampton currently, losing. And right now, it's a very, very good day for Stevenage and Stockport. So right now, not really anything changing within the Championship at the moment. The only goal that came in the Premier League in the second half has been Brighton's 5th goal. Couple of goals coming in within League 1. And the only change really has been from the relegation picture. And the change from League 2 has been obviously Stevenage within touching distance of going up. Charlton are 2-0 up against Port Vale, by the way, with Raksaki getting the goal. Wimbledon this season are reminding me of Derby County. Before they chime in, they've only won one of the last 17 games. They're so lucky they're not going down. They really have down tools, Wimbledon, because they had a good spell in the middle part of the season, but then it's like as soon as they got the amount of points needed for safety, they've all of a sudden now have decided to stop winning games. And it's, you know, whilst I understand that if you've met your expectations, but at the same time, you've got to give something for your fans. And the one win in 17, if that's the case, is just not good enough. It really is not good enough at all. Buying Pedro for 30 million, is that a career mode thing, or is that something that the club, that one of the club has done? Are you referring to João Pedro there, Vijay, with you being a Watford fan? Well, I've got a tiny break here. So, another reminder, currently Hartlepool are down, despite drawing against... I mean, Hartlepool need to win, and Crawley need to lose. Neither one of those things are happening. Hartlepool not beating Barrow, they're only drawing. Crawley aren't losing in their game. I can't remember who they're playing in the top of my head, but Crawley are drawing it. So, it really is not looking good for Hartlepool. It looks like that they'll be going back down to the National League within 2 seasons of League 2 football. It's been a really, really great day for this dramatic part of the season. The only downside to it is that Chelmsford are really not doing well. They're still 2-0 down to Taunton. I have no idea what's going on. We've confirmed playoff, but we want more than that. We really want more than that. And this defeat here currently is not giving me any confidence that Chelmsford will get through the playoffs, and it's just the same old thing for Chelmsford. Goal at Ashton Gate, And it's an equalising goal for Bristol City. Now, I predicted 1-1 in that game. So that is going well for Bristol City. Well, for my prediction league at least. Tommy Conway with a goal and a huge goal at Stadium MKM again. You'd think it's an equaliser for Barnsley, but it's not. It is MK Dons leading 3-1 now against Barnsley. And that is a real dagger to the heart currently with Accrington and Morecambe. Now, Morecambe and Accrington can still stay in League One, but they need to win. Morecambe are 2-1 down to Lincoln. Accrington, of course, as I mentioned, are losing to Cambridge. So right now, Accrington Stanley and Morecambe will be going back down to League 2 if they cannot pick up a win. Oh my gosh, a bit of a goal drought at Portman Road here. Plymouth still leading 1-0 to Burton. It's a narrow lead, but it's enough to send them back up to the Championship for the first time in 13 years. Ipswich will be back after 4 seasons of League One. So a shorter absence, well, a much shorter absence than Plymouth, but that will be still fantastic for Ipswich and their community to be back as a championship team. I mean, as soon as I say, oh, prediction league is going to be restored, no, Burnley decide to ruin it and they score immediately after to make it 2-1. I don't know who scored it, but we will find out. Oh, I'm talking about my prediction league falling apart. Preston have put a dagger to that hope as well, because now they've equalised and I predicted 1-0. Liam Delap, who I've actually forgotten Preston actually signed, he's scored to make it 1-1. A win for Preston here will make things very interesting for them, actually, because it'll put them on 66 points and only 2 points behind Millwall. And it's looking like a really good weekend still for Coventry. Preston have scored. Yeah, I've seen. That's 2 correct scores completely being flushed away within 2 minutes. And that tells you how quickly things change when it comes to predictions. That's why I don't encourage anyone to bet, really, because you get so much false hope with something going your way and then bangs, just a circumstance happens. And it's all out of your control as well, so don't do it. That's all I would say with that. And I don't anyway, so, it's more like that I'm speaking from experience, but I'm just saying, if I were to, then I probably would be bankrupt by this stage. So, Port Vale have got 1 goal back against Charlton. It's now 2-1. So right now, yeah, looking like a really good weekend for Coventry, really. They're really benefiting from this. Wigan to repeat, and Wigan fans are probably going to hate me repeating this over and over again, but they're currently down if they cannot pick up a goal. The only positive so far for Wigan is that it's 0-0 and they're not losing the game. So 1 goal for Wigan right now will keep them in the Championship for now. Never do betting and do score predictions will get good. It's just a harmless way. I look at it as free betting score predictions in a way. You get that buzz if you get a correct score. But obviously, betting involves that, but with trying to win stakes, I just don't think it's worth it, really. Don't try and cheat your way into it by trying to be skillful at predicting something. Charlie, welcome to the stream. It's really great to see you. So you would have really loved seeing this from me, but I've had 2 correct scores, and within 2 minutes, Burnley and both Preston have just completely shat all over them, really, to be honest. So it's not looking good in my part there. I need to update the prediction league, actually. I've gone up to matchday 42 for the Championship, so I've got 3 game weeks to catch up on. So I will update it very, very soon. I've got a lot of free time today, actually, which is very, very rare for me. And also bank holiday weekend, so happy days. Gatsby's here, by the way. So if you want to see Gatsby, let's do a like target to unlock your Gatsby token. Let's set... we're still on 5 likes, oh my god. Let's go for 10 likes. If you get to 10 likes, you can see Gatsby. Big goal for League 1. Okay, so really 2 big goals in League 1. Let's talk about that right now. Nothing to do with Plymouth, but all relegation battle themed goals. What a moment this is for Morecambe. Morecambe have now equalised to make it 2-2. Umar Niasse makes it 2-2. But a really daggerous moment for Accrington. They're 2-0 down to Cambridge, and it looks like Accrington are going back down to League One. Morecambe currently still going down, but 1 goal for Morecambe. If they can beat Lincoln, they'll still be within the race for survival. Northampton have just equalised against Bradford, and that is a big boost for them there. I don't know the goal difference though. In fact, surprisingly enough, Stockport have a much better goal difference than Northampton. And it's another goal at the Amex by the looks of things. Brighton 6, Wolves 0. Fair play if anyone predicted this. I don't know who scored, but that is incredible. Oxford, by the way, are 3-0 up, and they're safe on the drop now. They have matched Ipswich's result now, Brighton now. Maybe a big goal for League 2. Hartlepool have now taken the lead against Barrow. A defeat for Crawley will keep Blackpool alive in this league. It's Denzis Undav who scores. So actually for Brighton, we've got 3 players with braces. Gross with a brace, Welbeck with a brace, and now Undav with a brace. Stevenage, with them winning by 2-0. What that means for Stevenage, they are still going up as it stands. Who are Crawley playing? They are playing, if I can find them, Walsall. So right now, a goal for Walsall will keep Hartlepool in the league for now. There's a second goal for Watford, by the way. And what that will mean for Sunderland, it will really damage their chances of getting into the top 6. Ryan Porteous getting that goal. So, a brilliant weekend for Coventry as it stands. A win over Birmingham puts them on 69 points. And they really could confirm their place within the top 6 if Norwich and West Brom draw and Blackburn don't pick up anything against Luton. MK Dons looks to be fighting another day. They are beating Barnsley by 4-1, and Barnsley really looking quite shaky now. That is 7 goals Barnsley have conceded in 2 games, incredibly here. My word, Cheltenham are 2-0 up with Alfie May getting the goal for Wickham. Right, think we've caught up. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think we've had another go at the Stadium of Light, which we're going to hear about in a minute. Goal for Watford indeed. Tom said Welbeck hat-trick, but I think it's been given to Undav there. It is 2-1, so Sunderland making it 2-1. Oh my word. Oh, I can't breathe. This is incredible. My gosh. So, Sunderland may have a lifeline here. A very small lifeline for Sunderland. And a great response after going behind, going 2 goals down. Reading Wigan, as I said, still 0-0. Wigan need 1 goal. 1 goal for Wigan will make Wigan fight for another day, and it will mean that the relegation battle between Wigan, Reading, could go to the final day. They'll now be relying on Rotherham and Huddersfield not to get anything from their games. It's Luke O'Nien with Sunderland's goal, and that could be a very important goal. If Sunderland win, they will overtake Millwall in the table if they win. They're not doing that, but they need 2 goals, Sunderland, to do that. And it will mean that Coventry have not confirmed their place within the top 6. So right now, it's just, this will be a big moment for Sunderland, but Coventry will not be liking that. Sunderland could sniff blood now. Brighton's biggest win in history is 14-2. Wow. I would love to know who they were playing against in that one. I need Burnley to score 1 more, says Charlie. I mean, Burnley screwed me over. I said 1-1, and it was 1-1 for 2 minutes? I think, what did I predict for Coventry Birmingham? Did I predict 2-0 or did I predict 2-1? I definitely predicted Coventry to score 2, but I can't for the life of me remember if it was 2-0 or 2-1. Knowing me, it's going to be 2-1, isn't it? I need Swansea to score 2 more. and I need Stoke to score one more, and that could be interesting. If the Brighton game stays like this, it will be the biggest Seagulls' biggest win in the 21st century. Now that is big. That is a huge victory for them currently if they can get that. A Premier League win as well, which is just makes that even bigger for Brighton as well. And what a response that is. Oh, what's happened? What's happened? Who's... Oh, Sheffield United have now regained their lead against Preston North End. As I said, Preston needed to win today to stay in the race of the top 6, but they're now not winning. And it means Sheffield United actually closed the gap with Burnley. I know Sheffield United can't overtake Burnley, obviously, but it does look like Sheffield United could get around 90 or so points. Preston, with this defeat, currently they'll be on 63 points, and it will be impossible for them to get into the top 6. I don't know who scored. I can't actually hear the commentary. Sheffield United winning. Yeah, big moment for the Blades. I know they've already confirmed their promotion, but that goal is significant for the playoff race, and it means Preston will have another season of Championship football as it stands. John Fleck got the goal for Sheffield United, by the way. Another legendary Sheffield United player who's witnessed another promotion for Sheffield United as well. So Mansfield got 1 goal back against Harrogate. So currently in that one, I've not actually talked about that Mansfield game enough. By the way, Barnsley have scored to make it 4-2. So it could be quite nervy for MK Dons. So we've got 6 goals in that game. I'm telling you, we already had a lot of goals within Blackpool and Millwall. And we saw 4-3 between Palace and West Ham. I'm thinking we're seeing a real desperation with a lot of these teams to the point where they're not even thinking about defence and they're really going for it, and I'm loving it. Big goal for the playoffs. Derby have just equalised against Portsmouth. James Collins with the goal. What that means, as you can see, Derby are matching Peterborough's result now. Peterborough are still missing a big opportunity to overtake Derby in the top 6. They are not beating Bristol Rovers currently. They're only drawing 0-0 with them at home, and that will be a big blow. Peterborough, in their final game week, have got Barnsley to play. Derby away at Sheffield Wednesday, so both Derby and Peterborough are tough away games in their final game of the season. Oh my word, 4-3. Oh my god. Are we really going to see Barnsley pull off an insane comeback? Remember, if MK Dons do not win, Morecambe and Accrington, despite what result they get, they live to survive another day in League One. Oh my word. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Barnsley. This is absolutely incredible. By the way, it is still 1-0 to Forest. This will be a humongous win for Forest if they win currently. Because right now it puts them on 33 points and a 4-point gap within the bottom 3. Max Waters is the one who scored the 3rd goal for Barnsley. Salford were looking like that they cemented their top 7 place, but Carlisle are back into it, and Carlisle are really losing the ground on the automatic promotion place, but they have got 1 goal back, but they really need to get something more than this if they want to have any chance of having any conversation of trying to go up again. So a win for Carlisle puts them on 78 points, and with current results, it means that they're not out of the conversation of getting promoted. But a defeat here will mean that Carlisle have to settle for playoffs, and it really doesn't look like it's going that way at the moment. Salford, with this at the moment, looks like that they are really looking like that they've got that confirmed now. It's game over for Preston's playoff chances as Sheffield United have now made it 3-1. Iliman Ndiaye scoring the 3rd for Sheffield United, 3-1. I'm just trying to catch up with comments and this has been one of the craziest game weeks I've seen so far. Just toggling with emotions right now, and this second half is not disappointing whatsoever. So one thing that will really spice this up, if Plymouth concede an equaliser. If that happens and Sheffield Wednesday have got a lifeline and it goes to the final game of the season, oh my goodness, that'll be amazing. Because Sheffield Wednesday are home to Derby, and Plymouth, I think, are away to Port Vale, which will be a big game. But currently, Plymouth doing enough, and Ipswich doing more than enough. They're beating Exeter by 6-0. You know, that performance would feel, you know, you should deserve to win the league for that. But Plymouth have just been so good all season. They've got an 87% home win rate at home and a 66.7% win rate percentage overall in the league, which is ridiculously stupid. It's incredible, really. So, as I said, Plymouth as it stands will be promoted back to the Championship for the first time in 13 years. For Ipswich, they'll return to the Championship after a 4-year absence. Burnley goal will be massive for the predictions. It probably will be. As I said, I'm only on match day 42, but I am making sure that I'm trying to catch up because there's been an array of methods that people are sending me their predictions via Instagram, Discord, private message, YouTube. I've got to make sure that I don't miss a single set of predictions. So that's why I'm taking longer to make sure that I don't miss anyone out, because that would be the worst thing that I can do. And it has happened before when I've missed people out when posting updates. Bolton, by the way, 2-0 up now against Fleetwood. They have confirmed their place for the playoff as things are standing in that one. I'm just going to go back to capture just to be 100% sure. Bolton now 2-0 up. It is Cole Dempsey with that goal. Bolton on 78. Yes, it will, because Peterborough aren't winning in their game there. But a goal for Peterborough will make it very interesting, actually. It really, really would. Because it means if Derby don't get anything, Derby will fall out of the top 6. And it means that, you know, both Peterborough and Derby with a final tough game of the season are going to have to battle it out to try and get that final playoff place. And I don't really particularly see Bolton falling out now. I think a win for Bolton will give them that playoff place, which is massive for them. Harrison Neal sent off for Barrow, so there's a big boost for Hartlepool. But as I said, it doesn't matter what Hartlepool are doing. Because Crawley are not losing against Walsall, it means Hartlepool will go down. A goal for Walsall keeps Hartlepool alive for another day. But that's not happened at the moment. And right now, we're still waiting for a goal between Reading and Wigan. Wigan will get relegated as things stand if they cannot find a result. Are we seeing any sort of performance that suggests that Wigan are trying to stay up? 14 shots to 7, 2 shots on target to 4. Reading looking to be the better team, and that's not encouraging for Wigan there. They need to do more than this, to be brutally honest there. They've definitely done more in the second half, but right now Reading, definitely bearing in mind with the fact that they've got Huddersfield and also Wigan here as the last 2 games, they're making sure that they give themselves a fighting... Oh my word, what a moment this is! Wigan have indeed scored. Oh my gosh, that is a huge goal. And did I predict 1-0 Wigan? I predicted 1-0 Wigan in my predictions as well. Oh my word. Right, what that means... Oh my gosh. So, calm down, Alex. So, it means Wigan and Reading will both be on 43 points. It means both of them will go into the final game week of the season. But actually, just a bit of a U-turn back onto that. Both Wigan and Reading could get relegated if Rotherham and Huddersfield both win their games. Now, the thing is with Rotherham, which I am practically going to almost say that they're safe now, I think their goal difference, Rotherham, is going to keep them up. They've got a minus 12 goal difference. Reading's goal difference is plus 21. Huddersfield, their goal difference is... I can't actually work it out. Plus 19. So, right now, I think Rotherham's goal difference, unless they lose heavily to Middlesbrough tomorrow, I think Rotherham are safe. I think that result right there is going to save Rotherham. I truly think so. Even though they lost against Cardiff in quite a way that they did. But this tells me here that I think a win for Huddersfield tomorrow against Cardiff will send Reading and both Wigan down. That's what I think now. Tom's saying Wigan are staying up. I'm not going to go that far yet, but that is really a pressured result for Huddersfield. If they cannot beat Cardiff tomorrow, it really goes down to the final game of the season where Huddersfield play Reading. Incredible. And Wigan face Rotherham. Oh my gosh. So the 4 teams who could still go down are playing against each other in 2 separate relegation 6-pointers in the final game week. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. Now, I gotta make sure I remember about Huddersfield. They've got a game in hand over Sheffield United. If they can get a result here, then Huddersfield ultimately are safe. But if they lose against Sheffield United, we will get that very scenario. Charlie Hughes for Wigan Athletic, keeping him alive, but a real body blow for Reading. Oh, no, wait, no. No, hang on. I didn't predict Reading to win. I didn't predict Wigan to win. I predicted a draw, a 1-1 draw, I think. Why did I say I thought I predicted a 1-0 win to Wigan? I think I predicted 1-1. Right, so big moments. Goals flying in everywhere. Oh, my word. Right. Oh, let's catch up. No time to breathe. So, Bristol City apparently have equalised. I do not see that. We'll go back to that. But a big... Oh, gosh, a real body blow from Nottingham Forest. It's an equalising goal for Brentford in the 81st minute. That's a real body blow for Nottingham Forest. They led for so long. Up to 40 minutes of that game they led. But Brentford in the 82nd minute have now just equalised. And it could give Leeds United, Leicester and West Ham a lifeline here. Apparently it's a very poor free kick set up from Nottingham Forest to defend it. Really poor from Forest there. It puts them on 31 points. Oh, it's looking very, very precarious for them now. I don't think Bristol City have equalised at all, to be honest. I think it must have been an offside goal. So Sheffield Wednesday, 3-0 up against Shrewsbury. They're doing everything right. They are ultimately, Sheffield Wednesday, hoping that Plymouth concede a goal against Burton. If they keep this clean sheet, then ultimately, Plymouth will go up. It's Ivan Toney with that goal, by the way, for Brentford to make it 1-1. Carlisle have equalised against Salford, which keeps Cardiff within the conversation. Right now, Carlisle needs one more goal to re-enter their chances of potentially getting automatically promoted and taking that competition to the final game week of the season. Stockport emphatically beating Leyton Orient, by the way. What a great performance that is for them. Hartlepool's still going down because Crawley are not losing against Walsall. Statistically, Walsall looking like that they're doing much better. They're going to Home Park. Burton looking like that they are just not getting the final pass to kill Plymouth off. And that will really suit them because Plymouth, as it stands, will be promoted. Bristol goals disallowed. Right, I thought so. And yes, I did say 3-0 Sheffield Wednesday. Didn't even talk about Marcus Smith getting a hat-trick. Fair play to the lad. I saw him play for Sheffield Wednesday, actually, against Ipswich. And just a towering presence as a striker. So we're going back to Bet365. And it's still QPR that are winning. One Stoke goal will get me 3 points, I believe. Wow, what an incredible moment this is for Wigan Athletic. This 3 points here for Wigan is keeping them in this league as it stands. And it means Blackpool will very likely finish rock bottom for the fact they've got to play Norwich in the final game week of the season. That is a really, really big blow for Forest. I can't exaggerate that enough. Let's look at Forest's last couple of games because they are not nice games for Forest. They've only got 4 left. Apart from Southampton, where I consider that being a must win for Forest, which will put them on 34. They have got Chelsea. I mean, okay, maybe that's not a tricky game. Then Arsenal there, and then Crystal Palace to end it off. My God, though. But a win for Forest here will give them a huge boost, and they could have really, really... Oh my gosh, big goal. Okay, oh my gosh. I can't take any breaks. I can't take breaks. Right, okay, let's go League One first. Because we're seeing a real change within the relegation picture. Morecambe have turned it around against Lincoln to lead 3-2 now. Stockton getting his second goal. And incredibly, in Stadium MKM, it is 4-4 now. Incredible. Oh my word. I don't know who scored for Barnsley, but that is... Oh my word. So, MK Dons were 4-1 up and looking like that they were going to relegate both Morecambe and Accrington. Accrington got a consolation goal, by the way, which I didn't talk about. Max Waters again getting another goal, his second of that game. My God, Morecambe are having a lifeline. They're on 44 points now, and so are MK Dons. If MK Dons concede a goal, Morecambe will briefly go out of the bottom four, incredibly, going into the final game week of the season. The other big goal I was talking about, Salford retake the lead against Carlisle. So Carlisle looking like they are going to have to settle for playoffs now and not automatic promotion places. No other changes in the Championship for what I can see. Nope, no changes. My word. Accrington are staying up now. Yes, Accrington are staying up because MK Dons aren't winning. Didn't even mention that, but yeah, that's right. It means Accrington, despite losing, do live another day, even though it's looking, pretty bleak for Accrington. It's looking a lot more optimistic, however, if you're a Morecambe supporter. My word, incredible. Absolutely incredible, this. We're seeing so many season-defining moments. Right, so let's talk about what's happening. Nothing's happening in the Championship. Obviously, Blackpool went down yesterday. They're still 3 points behind Huddersfield, but the reason they're down is because Huddersfield and Reading play each other, and no matter what result you see in that head-to-head game, it puts Blackpool down. So Blackpool are already down and relegated. Wigan could have gone down today. They're currently not, as they're beating Reading, and they're now joint on points, Reading and Wigan. League One as it stands, the top three both winning, but with very different scorelines. Plymouth were first, winning 1-0, but looking quite, dangerously in terms of their defence in that game, apparently. Ipswich second, they're winning 6-0 to Exeter. Right now, they are really looking comfortable now for returning to the Championship. Sheffield Wednesday doing everything right. They're beating Shrewsbury by 3-0. Right now, a draw for Plymouth will mean that Sheffield Wednesday still have the chance to get promoted. But right now, despite Sheffield Wednesday picking way over 90 points, they are going to have to settle for playoffs currently. For the relegation battle, we briefly saw MK Dons looking like they were going to relegate both Morecambe and Accrington. Within Morecambe turning it around and then fighting another day, MK Dons conceded a fourth goal, which meant it's 4-4. And MK Dons were 4-1 up against this Barnsley team. My goodness me. So currently, no one of Accrington and Morecambe will go down today because MK Dons aren't winning. Oxford will now save themselves following the fact that they're beating Forest Green by 3-0. Within League 2, Stevenage are currently looking very good for promotion. They're 2-0 up against Grimsby. They only needed to win today at this moment of time. And for relegation, League 2, Hartlepool are down. Despite beating Barrow, Crawley are holding on against Walsall, which means that Hartlepool are currently going down. Accrington need Barnsley to score another. Yeah, they really do. It's not looking good for Accrington, despite mathematically not being down, but it is really going to be a disadvantage for Accrington, ending the season, to be honest. So Charlie is looking quite excited with Prediction League here. I can't wait to see the updated standings when I eventually catch up with the games. It sounds like that Forest, now they've conceded that equaliser, they don't look like that they're going to get anything else out of it. So right now, the priority changes for Forest just to keep a point. And maybe, considering the games that we've got, that could be a really crucial point for Forest. Obviously, it's disappointing for them not to pick up 3, but that could be huge. So another thing to talk about in terms of the championship, it does look like Coventry are almost there in confirming playoffs. They will confirm playoffs if Blackburn lose to Luton, which I did predict. And they'll also get it if West Brom and Norwich draw in the later championship game tonight. Coniston, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Right, we're entering the final couple of minutes. We're getting a lot of full-time results now. Oxford beat Forest Green by 3-0, which means Oxford stay in League One next season. I really am just trying to breathe. Oh, hang on. Have we got it? What a moment! Oh my gosh, okay. I was going to get our capture. Oh my god. That's 3 points for me in the prediction league. But this is going to send Wigan down to League One. Incredible. We've got 9 minutes of added time. And in the second minute of that added time, Reading have found the goal, which is really going to take their relegation hopes a little bit more of a boost. As you can see, it's only goal difference that separates Reading and Huddersfield. But right now, because of our equaliser, Wigan are going down because of the same reason of Blackpool going down, with Huddersfield and Wigan playing, Huddersfield and Reading, playing against each other on the final game week of the season. I mean, I would have loved Wigan to win for the fact that we could see four of the relegated favourites play against each other. But Yaku Mate might have just saved Reading here. That goal could really keep them up. Oh my word. Coniston, thank you so much for the donation. Everyone give a shout out to Coniston. Your donations, by the way, Coniston, do not go unnoticed. They really are incredibly appreciative, and I appreciate every time you send one. Hartlepool winning really comfortably against Barrow now, 3-1. But, as I said, Walsall aren't beating Crawley, and Crawley will stay up if they do pick up a point. So a bit of a shame there, but they had that game against Crawley, didn't they? And they lost 2-0, and that is going to cost Hartlepool's league status. Full time at the Amex, and it's 6-0 to Brighton. What a result for De Zerbi. And Lopetegui, he probably could not believe his eyes, to be honest. A huge boost for Brighton's chances of getting a European place with this sort of result here. Really been a pleasure to watch all season, to be honest. You know, they put 4 past Chelsea, and right now, they really do look like the real deal right now. You need commentary to score one more. I've definitely got one correct score with Reading Wigan. Currently, I don't know what I predicted for Coventry Birmingham now. I can't remember if I predicted 2-0 or 2-1. It was one of those scorelines. Charlie's still celebrating being top of the league. Did you predict... Oh, we got a third goal at Brentford Community Stadium. Oh my gosh, this could be big. Who scored it? Oh my gosh. Forest have bottled this big time. Brentford have turned it around in stoppage time. Incredible. My word. I mean, once again, just Forest having the simple task of trying to stop. Oh my word. Okay, we've got so much going on. So basically, Forest were leading and now they're not. Josh De Silva getting the second goal for Brentford. Stevenage are up, by the way. They are promoted to the League One for the first time in their history. Sheffield United scores a 4th goal against Preston. Really, keeping Preston away from getting into the top 6. Sunderland with that draw puts them on 66 points. It means they can still catch up with Coventry, but it's going to be very, very difficult for them. And a big result for League One. Ipswich have beaten Exeter by 6-0. Ipswich, they are promoted. They are returning to Championship football. I work within less than 10 months in a new job in Ipswich, and right now I've got them promoted. Now there could be a VAR decision here. So, could the goal be disallowed? And body blow for Oh my word. Body blow for, can't think, Sheffield Wednesday, because Plymouth have also held on. They have won. And also Plymouth are promoted as well. They're recording the pitch invasion at Home Park. They're not recording the one at Pullman Road at the moment. Oh my word, it's looking crazy. Plymouth are promoted to the Championship for the first time in 13 seasons. Oh my gosh, what a moment here. So a late goal for Bradford. And what a really, really bad result that is for Northampton. Big time for Northampton there. They could have been really within touching distance of promotion. They just needed to win today. But a defeat here, it means Stockport are only 2 points behind. Carlisle can't catch up, but Stockport and Northampton, it's going to be between them two to get that final place. It looks like that Brentford is going to keep that second goal. So Forest still losing here. MK Dons and Barnsley draw 4-4. That might be a very important point for MK Dons' relegation battle here. But that means Accrington and Morecambe live another day. Sheffield Wednesday, despite winning, they are going to have to settle for playoffs. What an incredible season that has turned out to be, by the way. Cambridge have got a game in hand from the rest of the teams, and they play Forest Green as well. So this is a great day for Cambridge to get that win over Accrington, to be honest. Brentford goal going to be out. Yeah, it's confirmed now. We don't need to worry. There's the pitch invasion at Pullman Road. I was waiting to see. Yeah, it's not looking as busy. Okay, well, it looks like they're staying in the seat. Okay, no, we've got to cut. Okay, I was going to say, it looked a little bit quiet. Now, all of a sudden, people from the stands are going to celebrate now. Oh, my word. They are promoted. They've returned to the Championship. I'm just saying, me not attending to any of those games when I just wasn't getting any luck was big. Stevenage up to League One for the very, very first time in their history. Port Vale getting a late goal back against Charlton, but they look like they're going to lose it. I'm still waiting to see if Hartlepool are down. Crawley are doing everything right at the moment. A draw there will keep them in League Two, and Hartlepool will go down. Fylde promoted to the National League, right. So that means Edsfleet and Fylde are now promoted back. We're waiting for the next two. And a full-time result at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. 1-1 between Reading and Wigan. As I said, Wigan needed to win. They didn't. Wigan are relegated because of the same reason that Blackpool are down. Because Huddersfield and Reading play against each other. And no matter what result that is, that will mean Blackpool and Wigan cannot catch up even if they win their final game of the season. Wigan down. Yes, they are down indeed. Accrington are nearly down. Not quite mathematically down, but they're really close to being down. Morecambe have given themselves a lifeline. Cambridge have given themselves a massive boost for beating a relegation rival away from home as well. So what's going on at the CBS Arena? Why are they going to Michael Dawson? There's 97 minutes? How's there 7 minutes of added time in this game? I'm surprised that game's still going, to be honest. We're still waiting for full time between Brentford and Forest, by the way. I mean, that's a really big blow for Forest here. You know, they're still 1 point clear of Leicester with having played a game more. That puts everything on that Southampton game that Nottingham Forest have next. So it's full time now at the GTEC Community Stadium, by the way. 2-1 victory to Brentford, which is a great result. I mean, no way, hang on, it's not. 99 minutes, so they've played 2 minutes over the stoppage time. Coventry have beaten Birmingham by 2-0. That really almost confirms Birmingham's place, Coventry's place, within the top 6. They are 3 points clear of Sunderland. Sunderland have pressed them to play. Coventry have got Middlesbrough to play. Goal difference wise, Coventry have got plus 12 and Sunderland got plus 10. Okay, it's not a foregone conclusion, to be honest. Coventry not confirmed top 6, I would dare say now, because of that late equaliser from Sunderland. And obviously, as I said, Coventry got Middlesbrough to play in the final game of the season away from home, which is a very tough game. Peterborough missed the chance to get back into the top 6 before the final game week, as they only drew 0-0 to Bristol Rovers. That means if Derby could... In fact, no, Derby have held on to win by 1 goal each. So it means both Derby and Peterborough will have to hopefully try and better their results to try and get into that final playoff place. It's a very good day for Bolton Wanderers because they are officially in the playoffs. Mansfield losing against Harrogate, that practically confirms the playoffs for practically all of the teams in the current state of the playoffs, really. It's going to be interesting to see if Stockport or Northampton will get that final place. Stockport have got Hartlepool, for what I remember. I can't remember if Northampton got to play, though. So I'll look into that soon. Carlisle, they were very close within the conversation of promotion, but losing to Salford today is going to confirm that they will have to settle for playoffs. Salford, 3 points clear of Mansfield now. Crawley held on for a draw. That means Hartlepool are relegated from League 2, sadly for them there. We don't have many games going now. Morecambe game against Lincoln is still playing, not anymore. Morecambe have held on for a win. That is a huge result. They are only behind MK Dons now, Morecambe, on goal difference, which is incredible within itself. Goal difference wise, I mean, it's an 8 goal advantage for MK Dons in terms of goal difference there. But this really, oh my word, this is incredible. Incredible, this is. It's been one of the most topsy-turvy 3 p.m. watch-alongs that I've ever done. The amount of goals that we've seen in both divisions is incredible. 6 at the Amex. We're seeing 5, well, that was yesterday, but we're seeing 5 at Bramall Lane, 4 at the Stadium of Light here. We saw 6 at Portman Road. In League 2 as well. We've seen so many goals there as well. 2 red cards there as well. The only thing that's brought me down today is Chelmsford losing their final game of the season, and they have indeed lost that game. They did have a late comeback with a penalty, but that wasn't enough. Because Worthing beat Hemel Hempstead, it means Worthing take 4th place from Chelmsford. We were hoping to see... And Oxford lost, didn't they? Oh my God, no! Oh my word, the opportunity was right there. Bath came back to beat Oxford despite going down to 10 men. A win for Chelmsford would have put them in 3rd place. It would have put them in 3rd place. Only 2 points behind Dartford had they won. Oh my word. That is shocking. So the difference here between 3rd and 5th is huge. So basically we have got these 4 teams: Worthing, Chelmsford, St Albans and Braintree. They're going to play in a quarter-final in the playoffs. Worthing are going to play Braintree. It means Chelmsford have to play against St Albans. Oh, what's our record? I can't remember if it was good or not. I think St Albans beat us this season, so I'm not feeling too confident with it. The 2 winners of those 2 playoffs games then play one of Dartford and Oxford in the semi-finals. So Chelmsford could have been that 3rd place team to go straight to the semi-finals of the playoffs. That's not the case. They're going to have to settle for quarter-finals, so they'll have to go through that. Then the semi-final, which will be either against Oxford or Dartford. It's probably going to be Oxford that they'll have to play against, which they lost 3-1 to recently. And then obviously the final. So Chelmsford would have to go through 3 stages of playoff games to try and get promoted, where they could have only just gone through 2 had they just finished 3rd. So yeah, the difference between finishing 3rd and 5th in that brief rant alone is why that's really important. League 2, look at League 2. Yep, so I think I've already looked at League 2. Hartlepool are indeed down, despite beating Barrow quite well. That draw for Crawley is enough to keep them in League 2, and Hartlepool can only get 45 as a maximum. Stevenage are up because they beat Grimsby. Northampton, with that late defeat to Bradford, it really makes things interesting for Stockport, because right now Stockport have got Hartlepool to play in the final game week of the season. Who do Northampton have to play? That is a question I don't actually know. It's Tranmere. Okay, that's not too bad for Northampton, to be fair. Northampton, all they got to do, they might only need to draw. What's their goal difference? Plus 19 is their goal difference, and Stockport's goal difference is plus 28. Oh my god. Right, okay. So a draw, if Stockport beat Hartlepool, Northampton need to win as well. So basically, oh my word. I mean, Stockport need to win. They need to beat Hartlepool, definitely. But Northampton, if they have to win if Stockport win, basically. That is going to be very dramatic in the final game of the season for that. Relegation already confirmed in League 2, so I'm not going to talk about that. League 1 looks like this. Plymouth and Ipswich up. Both won and both kept clean sheets. Sheffield Wednesday, despite winning their game, they're going to have to settle for place on 93 points, which is incredible within itself. So right now, that's confirmed. In terms of playoffs, 3 of the teams, Wednesday, Barnsley and Bolton, are confirmed for the playoffs, all Northern teams. We could have another Northern team in Derby get confirmed if they can just somehow keep that place within the top 6 going to the final game week of the season. They're going to have to wait for Peterborough. Peterborough have got Barnsley, Derby have got Sheffield Wednesday. So that's going to be 2 tough games for both of them there, but it's advantage Derby going into this. And the relegation picture, well, it's not great for Accrington to lose, but because of that dramatic 8-goal thriller at Stadium MKM, it's, I think it's Stadium MKM? I'm not too sure. I think I'm confusing it for Hull City Stadium right now. But basically, at the MK Dons against Barnsley, that 8-goal thriller means that late Max Waters equaliser keeps Accrington's hopes alive. Final games for the bottom 4-5 right now. Accrington have got Oxford to play, which is massive. Oxford have already survived, so Accrington will need to look at this thinking of a must-win game. Morecambe have got Exeter, who are really out of form and have just conceded 6. Cambridge have got Forest Green, as you can see as well. I think Cambridge also have another game. They've got Burton. Oh, okay, so it's their final game when Cambridge have got to play against Burton. So, Forest Green, sorry, I thought that was their game in hand. And I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of the ones in danger. Oh, and MK Dons, who do they play? They play Burton. Right, so Burton have got a big say in this relegation picture here. So they narrowly lost out to Plymouth, but they've got Cambridge and then MK Dons back to back. Burton are going to have a really big say on who's going to get relegated. Accrington look in danger, really. Even if they beat Oxford, really, to be honest, their goal difference is really, really poor. Minus 38 is their goal difference, actually. So that's not a great goal difference. Cambridge's goal difference is minus 28, which is much better. And then Morecambe's goal difference is minus 30. So yeah, and MK Dons' goal difference is minus 22. Yeah. So I'm calling it here. Mathematically not down, but Accrington Stanley are down because their goal difference is too much to overturn. Even if they beat Oxford, I don't think that's going to be enough. Cambridge have got a real chance. If they can beat Burton Albion to be on 46 points, that would really be a massive advantage for them, and then they can take 20th place off MK Dons. MK Dons will then have Burton to play in their final game week, and then what that means, Cambridge are just going to have to beat Forest Green. So really, it's down to Cambridge. If Cambridge beat Burton, they'll be the favourites to stay up, in my opinion. If they draw, that would be very interesting because it'll put 3 teams on 44 points. And it will still make Cambridge the favourites, in my opinion, because they've got Forest Green. Morecambe probably a favourite as well for the fact they're playing an out-of-form Exeter, and it'll really put MK Dons at a disadvantage again for the fact that they're facing a Burton Albion side. Incredible, isn't it? For the Championship, well, relegation for Wigan, unfortunately. They did lead very late on, but Yaku Mate, late equaliser from him, sends Wigan down because Huddersfield and Reading are playing against each other. No matter what result happens in that game, it means Blackpool and Wigan can't overtake either one of them. So both Blackpool and Wigan are down in the final, penultimate game week of the season. Huddersfield and Reading do play against each other in the final game of the season. That is giving me very similar vibes of when Sheffield Wednesday played Derby in that last season when Derby drew 3-3 with them. So that is giving me those sorts of vibes. That is incredible in itself. Rotherham are not safe either, though, to be honest. If they lose to Middlesbrough quite heavily. And yeah, I think that draw for Reading has actually not been a great result for Rotherham there. I felt if Wigan won, I think that would have really kept Rotherham in a really good gap from the bottom three. But yeah, that Yakumate goal could have dragged Rotherham back into it, especially if they do lose their last two games, Rotherham here. Now about playoffs, Coventry nearly confirmed. Nearly confirmed for playoffs, not quite yet because of that late equaliser for Sunderland. And Coventry only have a slightly better goal difference than Sunderland. Sunderland got Preston to play. I think it's Preston that they play. I'm just double checking. I know it's a former team managed by Alex Neil that they play. Yeah, so Sunderland away to Preston at Deepdale. And as you can see, if I can scroll a bit ahead, there's Coventry's final game against Middlesbrough. So it's going to be quite intense for them there, but they're nearly there. Millwall have got Blackburn to play. So right now, Millwall and Blackburn, that could be a really big game, especially if Blackburn beat Luton Town. But I don't think they will, to be honest with you. But that will actually still be quite interesting because it means Blackburn will still remain 3 points behind Mill in the final game of the season. But it means that they would not catch up with Coventry. That's what that will mean there. So Coventry have got Sunderland to fear. They could have Norwich. They could have West Brom to fear if West Brom beat Norwich. But a draw between Norwich and West Brom means that neither one of them can mathematically catch up to Millwall. So Millwall will be hoping for a draw between West Brom and Norwich. Coventry will be hoping West Brom do not win. And they'll be hoping for a draw as well, obviously, as well. And finally, Premier League. I don't know why I did Premier League last, but I'm doing it. So Brighton, with that win, puts them on 52 points. Only 1 point behind Liverpool with a game in hand over them. And they're only 2 points behind Villa with 2 games in hand. And same with Spurs. They are really a big favourite, Brighton, in my opinion, to get 5th, really. If they continue the way that they are and Spurs continue not to win, you know, it's going to be really, really interesting, really, with that. Then, in terms of relegation, a body blow for Forest. They were leading at half-time, but they bottled it big time. Lost 2-1 to Brentford, which means it's only a 1 point gap through between them and Leicester. And I'm just going to remind you of Leicester's games because, if I remember, they're quite forgiving. For a start, a huge game here, 18th versus 19th. If either one of them win, Gatsby's gone. If either one of them win, that would be a big boost for one of their chances. In fact, if either one of them win, they can both overtake Nottingham Forest. Leicester away to Fulham, with Fulham not having much to play for. Liverpool will be tough. Newcastle will be tough, but then West Ham. So that is 3 games I see Leicester that can realistically win from. So anything else to note down? I mean, to be fair, Nottingham Forest is going to must win. Excuse me. Nottingham Forest is going to must win game against Southampton next. They win that, then I think it will be big for them. Leeds back up to 16th, but Leeds have got a really rough ride of games coming up. Their 2 big games are away from home. Bournemouth and West Ham. Maybe Spurs, they could get a result if Spurs continue to play as they are. But against Man City and Newcastle, sorry. I think very similar to Leicester, actually. Leicester have got Liverpool and Newcastle. So, you know, all these teams have got like 2 tough games, but then followed by winnable games. So, my God, it's looking really, really tough and just really fiercely competitive, which is what I really love to see. That win for Palace today does put them above Chelsea. I am going to give them a little bit of shame. Right, let's catch up with comments before we go today. It's mad, but it might be Borough versus Coventry 3 times in a row. That will be incredible if that's the case. I remember that at the beginning of season, Matt SB predicted Stockport County to finish second. If that's the case, that's an incredible prediction from Matt, because they could finish up to third. Wednesday's a big day for Watchalong, to be fair. Plymouth are up, MK Dons are going down, apparently, says Rabbit. I think, based on my analysis, that's what he thinks. Reading 3-3, and you think Reading will go down. Wow, what an incredible game that's going to be. Constantine's going to back the Terriers. Constantine will love Sunderland and Coventry in the playoffs, so he's hoping Mill will fall out of the playoffs. Rabbit says we've got games in hand, so if we win both of those, we'll be safe. Yeah, absolutely. If Huddersfield beat Cardiff tomorrow, I think they're safe. In fact, no, they will be safe, in my opinion. Because Huddersfield goal difference does have an advantage as well. So yeah, that's really down with that scenario if they lose both their games. But obviously Huddersfield got a big advantage now with that. Got 8 points in the Championship and 4 points in the Premier League. Well, yeah, I'll be calculating these points as soon as I can. Yeah, I've just seen that. GJ, that's incredible. Right, well, you heard Gatsby leave my room. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to let him leave without you seeing him. Right. Let's see if you can see him. He really wants to go. You can only see him standing by the door. Let's actually get this. Hopefully you can see him. What? Is the camera still on, by the way? Yes, it is. I was just going to say. What? Look at you. He's just sitting there. He's giving me that resting bitch face attitude, thinking, are you really just going to stand there and not let me go? Shouldn't have left my room whilst we're streaming. You're the star of the show, you know. Ugh. Now the camera's disconnected. Yippee. Hang on a minute. I can fix this. 2 seconds. There we go. We're back. It's a he. Great Gatsby. Right. National League up next, yes indeed. So, thank you for reminding me, because that's the last thing I wanted to do before I left. So, National League, what can happen today? So, promotion's already sealed. For top 7 though, it's not game over for Southend. If I can, no, it's not, because Southend's goal difference is quite a fair bit better than Boreham Wood's actually. Their goal difference is +11. Boreham Wood's is +11 as well. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's +11 as well. Oh my gosh, they've got the same goal difference. Eastleigh, their goal difference is -1. Okay, so Eastleigh won't get top 7, unfortunately for them there. But yeah, we're looking at Boreham Wood and Southend for that final place in the top 7. Bromley have already secured it, so well done to them. Both Southend and Boreham Wood, they play. Southend have got Wealdstone, and Boreham Wood have got Relegated Yeovil. Okay, both relatively nice games for both of them there. So if I were to be predicting now, I think it's going to stay the same in terms of the top 7. The big moment, though, is the relegation picture. You have got one of Torquay, Maidenhead, and York going down. Aldershot kept an unbeaten run long enough to keep them in this league, so fair play to them. Torquay have got already promoted Wrexham to play. Chesterfield, okay, that's not relevant there. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in a minute. York have got Notts County away, which is definitely, I think, the toughest one for me. And then the other one that could see a team going down is Maidenhead. They've got Gateshead to play, which I think is the nicest one out of those 3. So one of Torquay, Maidenhead and York will go down. For me, Torquay need to win, which I think is really, really difficult for them considering the team that they're playing against. So I think Torquay are going down, sadly, despite this late revival from them there. The final thing I'm going to talk about is that 3rd place finish. So likewise, I was explaining with the National League South with Chelmsford, when you finish 3rd place, you get to play straight to the playoff semi-final rather than the quarter-final. And we've only got 2 points separating Woking and Chesterfield. Now, when Chesterfield lost, I think, against Eastleigh recently, Woking had the chance. If they won their game in hand, they would have been in third going into the final day of the season. But they lost recently, Woking, against Halifax. So because of that, Chesterfield have got a big advantage. Chesterfield have got to play already relegated and bottom of the league Maidstone. So it's a big advantage for Chesterfield to get to that third place. And Woking looks like that they'll have to settle for a quarter-final place. They have got Solihull Moors to play. So I think that is everything that I could have possibly covered today. I know statistically these streams don't do well, the 3 p.m. kickoff ones, but I really wanted to do it today. It's been an incredible day, minus Chelmsford absolutely bottling it. But other than that, it's been an incredible day, and I've had a lot of fun spending time with you guys talking about it there. If Huddersfield are on 47 points and have a goal difference of minus 18 after 45 games, Reading only need to beat Huddersfield by any scoreline to stay up. Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, but actually, no, to be fair, that actually does, if Huddersfield are on 47 points and have a goal difference of minus 18 after 45 games. What's Reading's goal difference, though? I thought Reading's goal difference was worse than Huddersfield's. Yeah, so Huddersfield, if they beat Cardiff, let's say, because I think that's their winnable game, Reading will be 3 points behind. And, yeah, pretty much from that moment onwards then, yeah. Well, actually, their goal difference is actually a little bit closer than I thought. So Reading's goal difference is minus 20. Huddersfield's goal difference is minus 19. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Wow. So, yeah, you're right. I thought their goal differences was a little bit further than this. Wow. Okay. So right now, I mean, it'd even be bigger if Huddersfield lost their games, because it will mean that Reading will momentarily overtake Huddersfield going into the final game week of the season. Oh my gosh. This is huge. Huge for all of them there. But I can't rule out Rotherham out either. You know, if they lose their game against Middlesbrough, they're within... Oh, now actually, hang on a minute. Hang on a lively minute. I might have just thought about something with Rotherham here. Rotherham are in danger. Yeah, Rotherham are in danger if Huddersfield win their game against Cardiff and put them on 47 points. And if Reading beat Huddersfield, that keeps both of them up and Rotherham down. That's what needs to happen, though. It's very specific, but that can happen still. That would be shocking if both Huddersfield and Reading can keep themselves up in that way. He's shouting at me. He wants me to... Okay, I've got the message. I need to let you out. Let me just finish my stream. Right, so that is what's going on here. Wow. Reading just have to win. It could go to that, but what I think might happen, I think Huddersfield could get a result against Cardiff. That'll put them on 47 points. Then Sheffield United, if they lose that, but by a narrow scoreline, it means the goal differences are still quite close. Then Huddersfield, then if Reading beat Huddersfield, they can overtake them. You're right. But then if Rotherham lose their last two games, which is Middlesbrough and then Wigan, Rotherham are then down. So it's still not a foregone conclusion of Reading win and then they stay or whatever. Because we've got to consider about Huddersfield, how they'll perform in their last two games. So right now, this is really, really going to be intense now. But it really is now in Huddersfield's hands to stay up now. Right, there we go. That is the stream. I need to let this disappointed and disgusted cat out. Oh my word, I've not seen her look so angry. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, please give the stream a like. It does tremendously help the growth of this channel. If you've not hit the subscribe button, please do so. It really, really helps the channel too. And please share this channel too. That also really helps as well. I may or may not stream again in the bank holiday. Maybe if I find time. But I've got to prioritise trying to get a prediction league up to date, because all of you guys have been waiting for it. So that's what I'll be working on tonight. And then maybe doing a review video tomorrow as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for tuning in the stream. And as always, I'll see you guys very, very soon for some more action. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you guys soon.